welcome to Directly to You. It's the 129th episode. It's our podcast. We're fanatixfour. I'm AJ at fanatixfour. I'm joined by Parker, also fanatixfour. You can support our channel, also the podcast, and also us individually by going to youtube.com/fanatixfour or twitch.tv/fanatixfour and give them $4.99. What do you get for that? You get loyalty badges, you get emotes, you get free Switch keys from time to time, you get gaming time with us, you get access to our supporters only Discord, where you can talk to Brad, also known as Jacopo. I'm not giving Duncan his shout out because he shaded me. He shaded me, and this is what happens. And hold on, wait. We got to think of a catchphrase for Brad to have now because he can't say yo yo yo. It needs to be something else.
He's hey.
That's what Brad will say to you when you join in, and he has mod powers, so it's an even better shout out. You know what I mean? But also, you can just join the regular Discord by clicking the link in the description, and then Duncan will say hi to you, I guess. You know,
if you want,
Duncan, if you even want that, you know.
Yep.
But also, you can subscribe and help us out by going to Twitch Prime or Twitch or what is it? Amazon Gaming, Prime Gaming.
Sure.
That's what it's called.
And hey,
now.
It's a new month now. I just realized, so I got to use mine.
So he's going to do it.
You're just sitting around.
Well, then again, I don't know what's going to happen there. I was going to say you should share your screen. That should be a thing we do whenever you refresh the thing. But anyway, you can link your Twitch account to your Prime account. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription. You can give it to us. So Jeff Bezos has to give us monies.
Yeah.
At no cost to anybody but him.
True that.
But that's it. You playing any videos? Any video games?
I am playing videos. Yeah, man, I'm playing some stuff.
I'm shocked.
This pretty much all week I've been playing Spiritfarer, which is a much longer game than I was anticipating, to be honest. Especially after.
Okay, so did you get a code for this one or did you buy it?
I got a code for it.
I was about to say what?
Yes. No, yeah. I didn't know it was a multiple choice question at first. No, so yeah, I got a code for it. And I haven't had a video to like put it in really yet, but it's going to show up at some point to talk about because it's really good.
We haven't done a video where it's like indie games you should check out. Maybe that.
I thought about that as well. Yeah. Because I made sure to do a review of it, Gleamlight, and Raji in last week's Directly to You because I wanted to have like a place where it's like this is review.
Is where I talked about it.
Yeah. But I'm just still playing this one. Whereas like it was funny because I got all three of those codes within 2 days. And then Gleamlight and Raji finished up pretty quickly. And Spiritfarer is just going on and on and on, but in a good way.
Okay, I gotta address this. I got a new freaking boom arm, and I don't like that it looks like we're sponsored by Blue or not. But if you want to sponsor us, Blue, go
the color blue, the color of my shirt. So yeah, no, it's still been great. I mean, long story short, like I said, I thought it was going to be shorter than it was, just because I felt like I saw people posting their like, completed reviews and stuff like pretty much the day after it came out. And probably they had the game prior to that, or they just marathoned through it. And like, probably you could finish it pretty quickly, I guess. But like, I don't know. We looked up how long to beat last time, and it was like 20 hours for normal, 30 for like mostly completionist, and 40 for like fully completionist. So yeah, which is like, that's pretty substantial, but it's funny. It's kind of
again. I mean, not every review that comes out, I would say most even. People finish the game.
Yeah. Especially, yeah, you're totally right. Especially with this kind of game where it's got kind of the Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley sim kind of thing going on, relationship building and all that. You don't really need to play the whole thing to understand how it's going to go about being a game. So I feel like I can't envision any way that my thoughts about it at the end of the game are going to be more than 3% different from my thoughts about it 5 hours into the game, because other than like, there's cool stuff where the characters are more like towards the beginning, the characters that you meet are much more amicable, and like, it's like, oh, this one's like your uncle, and this one's like, your best friend growing up, and that kind of thing, to like ease you into the situation so that you want to take care of them on your boat and all that kind of stuff and get to know them and whatever. But then like at the point where I'm at, I think I only have one spirit left to find later in the game, just from some context clues. But the past couple that I've picked up, I'm like, ooh, you guys aren't like the best people. Like, it's interesting to get to know you, but it's kind of like, what's the dude in Animal Crossing, the mole man kind of guy?
Rossetti.
Yeah, Rossetti. It's one of the characters has more of that kind of a personality, you know, where it's like, it's an interesting personality to get to know, but it's not like super heartfelt and warm and stuff. So, which makes it fun, because otherwise it maybe could be a little too one note if it were all just like very familial type characters. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that still. So that's one of the things I've been playing. And the other one, I played just a little bit of it, but yesterday Spellbreak came out. And I know Brad and Duncan and I had all been like, that looks maybe like fun. They played a bit of it yesterday. And so I played the tutorial and one round, and it's free to play online. Honestly, to me, not knowing barely anything about these kinds of games, it felt like Fortnite minus the building, but in like fantasy spell slinging settings where you can like fly around and stuff, which is up my alley.
It's nerd.
Yes,
Harry Potter.
It's great. Yeah,
Harry Potter, Fortnite.
So I don't know. Yeah, again, I only played one round. We happened to win the one round we played, me and two randos in my squad. But mostly that was because I think we were just on the opposite side of the map from most of the people most of the time. So we kind of just like the people we did run into, we killed them, and then we wound up in the middle, and we're like, here we are, we won. But
when you win, does it say the one Harry Potter reference that I know, where it's like you're
10
a
points to
wizard?
Gryffindor. Oh,
does it say you're a wizard? Because everybody else is dead, so they can't be wizards.
They're not wizards anymore.
Yeah, they're dead.
That's the prize. You get to be a wizard finally.
And are you then like named Harry? It's Harry Potter a title?
It surely is. Yeah, you can be, like an adept, whatever. But the official top title that you can be
is
Harry Potter.
Gotcha.
No, but it's cool. I'm into it. I think. I don't know. I've only played one round.
Harry's not more Harry? Does Harry get older and he's Harry?
I think, for what it's worth, at the end of the last movie, when it's like, when it shows them like 30 years later or whatever, I'm pretty sure Harry Potter has got a little bit of scruff.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's kind of like and then they return, blah, blah, with their children.
I didn't know they did that. I thought they just left it and he was, freaking Daniel Radcliffe or whatever. And he was like rapping. He raps. Did you know that?
He raps? I did not know. He does so much.
I don't know if he's like, I wouldn't call him a rapper, but I've seen him do like freaking like interviews or like spit something, and then he raps, dude.
Well, there you go.
That's all I know.
Never would have guessed. But
is Harry Potter? Oh, well, I guess not. I was going to say, does he rap? But if you didn't even know, you didn't know. So
I didn't even know. So that's what I'm playing. Yeah, again, with Spellbreak, the problem is like the way that I game isn't
you don't play with people.
It's not super conducive to being like, hey, let's pick a time, because like I don't know what time I'm going to be doing it, and it'll be for like 15 minutes and then stop and then whatever. So like it'll be hard to do that, but I'd like to at least once be like, Brad, Duncan, we're doing this. So
I want to play, dude.
Yeah,
with me.
Let's do it, AJ. Let's
do
this,
dude. I'm down.
I mean, you can stream some things now.
I will literally only play. I need to freaking buy a capture card because I don't know where mine's at, and I'd rather buy another one than to look for the one I have. But
what are you playing though? That's everything I'm playing.
So literally all my gaming time has been through people being like, "Yo, I'm streaming this," and I'm like, "Okay, cool."
So let me guess: Fall Guys, Smash, Pokemon.
Fall Guys, Warzone.
Oh,
Smash.
Okay.
No Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
So Fall Guys, I'm playing that with Bob on streams and stuff like that. I played with Scootish on his stream because Bob died momentarily.
Of course, I knew that.
He's frozen in time.
Okay.
So me and Bob's Ghost streamed it with Scootish, and that was a grand old time. Fall Guys is Fall Guys, and that was like one of the reasons why I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make this video. I've been thinking about making for a while anyway. Like to the point where I even put it in the poll before that. Because we were talking about like how competitive or not competitive Fall Guys is or whatever. But we'll get to that when we talk about my video. Warzone is a game that I've been telling Bob forever I was going to install because he wants to get carried by the newbie bonus because it's like easier if you're like with somebody that like is low level.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Because they match you up against people that are also lower level?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't play shooters at all. And I especially don't play or watch this shooter. So every time I play this game, I'm like very lost. I don't know how to do any of the things. And they're like so established in like how they play to the point where they have strategy. Like, yeah, we're just going to drop by the, the quarry. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do that. Sure. And then, like Bob's like, all right, go to the buy. Everybody go to the buy and get the thing. And I'm like,
how big are the teams in Warzone, by the way?
It's you could do freaking duos or quads or trios or solo matches. So specifically we did, both. We did trios, but yesterday we did quads because we played with, at first we did quads and then freaking Jerry left and then E joined. So we played trios for a little bit and then we played quads. But yeah, no, I'm really bad at that game, and I don't know what's going on. And it's like I've like, it takes me a while because my vision's not great, so it takes me a while to like understand. Like, okay, I know what I'm looking for, and once I know what I'm looking for, I know where to look, and I'm not like freaking stumbling around. You know? This game, I'm still very much so not. I don't understand the icons. I don't know what's happening where. So like, there's a lot of times where I'm just like trying to figure out where to drop. Like finding their name on the thing is like takes me a while to like spin around. It's like, oh, it's there, and then I'll be freaking halfway.
I feel like that's the nice thing with like getting into some of these games of services from the beginning. It's like you have just the most basic experience that the game's ever going to have, and then it'll build from there. So like you can kind of learn with the curve. But otherwise, like, it seems prohibitively hard to like.
It's Call of Duty, so there's like a lot of stuff that people already inherently understand about this game.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like stuff, on top of that,
stuff as like simple as controls. Like there'll be times where Bob's like, "Yo, anybody got shields? Drop shields. You got money? Drop your money." And I'm like, "I don't even know how to do that." He's like, press the button and then press triangle, and then I do that. But you have to actually navigate to the thing that you want to drop. And I didn't know how to navigate. I'm trying to use the D-pad. The D-pad says no. I'm trying to use the freaking left analog stick. That tells me no too because I'm still walking around. I have to use the right analog stick.
Of course,
figured that out eventually. And then when that happened, as soon as I remembered it, or it was like in my recent memory, I was like, I was down to drop stuff, dude. I was like, yo, you need money? And then like 2 matches later, he told me to drop something. And I forgot again. So it's like, I'm still in that phase where it's like, I don't understand. And that comes down to where I like playing this game. It's fun because they specifically don't act like I'm going to complain about how people act. But people in the chat are like expecting me to like be an expert at this game. And I don't understand it. It's like the same thing of like we were teaching Greg how to play Smash Brothers. Nobody was looking at Greg playing Smash Brothers and be like, you should have forward smashed them, you know? But me, it's like, you should have freaking knew that you got to go to the quarry. I'm like, what? I don't touch this game, dude.
I don't even know who Corey is.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Never met that dude in my entire life. But yeah, no, I have fun playing Warzone. It's fun. One of these days I'll get good at it, but not in the near future. You know what I mean? Yeah. I need more. I need like at least a year of playing shooters. These people have been playing shooters since the freaking original Xbox and crap.
Yeah. I did have fun though this week. This isn't playing stuff, but again, my friend Chris bought a Switch and he's been playing Breath of the Wild. And so it's been fun, like him telling me his experiences and all that. And it sucks on his behalf. It was so good playing Breath of the Wild when everybody else was playing Breath of the Wild, because like you would just kind of intrinsically learn some things that were happening, or that like, I don't know. You wouldn't have to look up something that you didn't know because probably you saw a little bit of it hinted, and like, so you don't know where it is.
so there's something that happens to me a lot in Smash Brothers where I'll see like, because I follow a lot of like top players in Smash Brothers and they'll do like some type of combo or something like that. I'm like, that works. That was Breath of the Wild. It's like this is how I got through the freaking cold tundra or whatever.
Right,
I ate
exactly.
peppers and I'm like, what? I'm trying that, you know, like that.
The specific example for him too was like getting into the Gerudo town. You got to talk to a person and do a certain thing, and he had to look it up because like something in the game wasn't super clear. Like you could figure it out, but he's like, I don't want to waste time figuring it out. I want to have fun, which I feel the same way about a lot of things. But it was, I think those kinds of things for me when the game came out was I'd seen somebody else talk about like, look at this. Isn't this funny that it's that? It's like, on one hand, it kind of spoils it. But on the other hand, there's so many things by the time you get to whatever spoiler, you've forgotten it anyway. But remember it just enough to know, how to do it. So, but it's been fun hearing his experiences.
So do this here.
Yeah, exactly. So all that just made me even more excited about Breath of the Wild too.
Oh my god!
But yeah, that's all I'm playing though. But I
didn't talk about when I played Smash Brothers. So Max,
you did not go for it. Yes,
our very own friend Max.
It's true.
So he freaking DMs both of us, I think. Wasn't in the group DM?
He
DMs both of us, and he's like, "Hey, I got this friend. He's good at Pokemon Smash Brothers. AJ, challenge him." And I'm like, okay. Like, sure. And then he was like, he's playing Pokemon right now. I was like, I don't have a team in Pokemon, but I'm down to play Smash. And he links me to Twitch, and I'm like, okay, like you want me to freaking play this dude now? Like, so I go in his chat and I'm like, hey, Max wants me to fight you in Smash Brothers, and he's like, yeah, I'm down to play. And it's like he wants us to fight like now, and then we're both in the same place where it's like, I mean, I'm down.
I guess we're playing for Max.
I didn't even know this person existed before this, and you're trying to get me to immediately fight him. So I was playing Smash with him, and he's pretty good. I won the matches in the sets and stuff. He beat me twice, but I can tell he's like really good at this game because just like decisions that he made were things that most people that even like I'll fight that I'll have a harder time fighting, they're not as deliberate. Like he will put me in situations where he's like, you're going to roll in and I'm going to punish you for it.
Right.
I don't know any person that I fight that's not like significantly better than me that approaches fighting like that,
Yeah. Right.
It's either you're worse than me and you don't think like that, or you're better than me and you exclusively think like that. He's the first person that like I was winning more often than I was losing, but he still thought in that like strategic way. So it was an interesting situation. I did play. I played 2 matches as Min Min, and I felt bad because Min Min is like a character that, like, if you don't know how to fight Min Min, it's a wrap. It's done. There's some like I would say most characters in the game, you can come in and you can like not understand how they fight and still do pretty well. But if you don't understand how to fight Min Min, she's just going to end your life. I'm sorry, like it's just over for you. And that's the position that he was in. So I played 1 match and I was like, I'm sorry. It's like, no, it's good. Just let me change my character. I said, okay, cool. He changed his character. He lost worse. Like he barely touched me. And I was like, okay, I got to change off of this character now because this is not fair. I know it's not fun. I wouldn't have fun. So I went back to Pokemon Trainer. It was a great time.
Fun. Was he? I mean, it seems like he was a good sport about it all, though, too. Yeah. Like that you guys. Yeah. That's fun because like the way Max said it made me think that it was going to be a guy that's like, I'll take any challengers, but like was a jerk about it.
It was definitely a thing of like,
that's nice.
He's definitely good. He's going to like acknowledge when other people do things well. Like the whole time he was playing, like talking about certain habits that I have where it's like, oh, you don't really go off stage, but like you hold down center stage, so like that makes sense, like doing stuff like that, right? So that was just like the whole time where it's like he's calling out certain habits or certain things that he noticed about my play style. And in the whole Min Min thing, he was more so talking about Min Min from a sense of like, okay, yeah, you can keep playing her because I want to learn how to fight this character. But for me, I specifically was like, nah, I don't. It just feels like it's not fun. So I can't do it. But yeah, it was fun. I'm excited to play more with him. Maybe one of these days, because he streams, maybe you can freaking, get him on directly to you when Smash Brothers things happen.
Yeah, man. I'm down. Speaking of things happening, I just have it titled Mario because this week Mario finally happened.
You didn't even do Mario, dude.
I didn't do Mario. You're right. It's or did I? No, I obviously didn't.
Yeah,
So
you did.
this week we had a Mario Direct for the 35th anniversary of Mario stuff, which we all knew was coming eventually from the
Yes.
sounds of it, and it finally happened. We even
And we specifically knew.
knew that it was going to happen this week, and I was
From
like,
people in the shadows that shall not be named.
so that was fun. Yeah, so a bunch of stuff got announced, and a lot of these have like kind of a monkey's paw situation, which if you don't know what I mean by that, it's like a wish where it's like a good thing, but there's a little bit of a bad side to it too. Which like Nintendo's been doing a lot of those kinds of things recently where it's like things are good, but like there's just like a little twinge of like, you were so close to it being perfect.
I feel like they usually do that.
I know. It's
like,
true.
It's kind of their thing.
Which, yeah. But whatever. In any case, let's talk about
there's some stuff. Well, okay, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Okay, so here we go. I don't know what the best ones to start. Let's start with the more boring ones, quote unquote. And
that's usually how they freaking like structure press releases, which annoys me. Because usually when we do we talk about directs, we want to talk about it chronologically, but they structure it in like, this is the stuff you're going to want to talk about first, and then everything else is below that. And I'm like, nah, just let me know when it happens.
Yeah. So the least interesting, but like cool, it's a thing is just the fact that there's all sorts of different like Mario merch and toys and all that kind of stuff. Cool. We knew about a lot of that stuff already, but there's even more.
I want the sneakers. Are the sneakers? Can I buy the sneakers like now? I don't know if that's the thing. I want the sneakers. I don't care about Monopoly, even though Monopoly's dope. But like, I'm just playing that digitally at this point. Anybody got time for having Monopoly boards? I thought that Jenga was already a thing, or it was, because I talked about it in my video about this very anniversary. There's Mario action figure, whatever. Black milk clothing has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I don't know that I specifically care about any of these for myself. I think a lot of them, are cool, but it's
how dare you? You're not into black milk clothing?
I love it so much. No, I mean, it's, I don't get name brand really anything, and anything Nintendo is going to be, name brand stuff. That's the only I get.
Not even true.
Well,
unless it's the Nintendo brand. Yo, speaking of that, well, I guess we'll get to that. I don't know if that's like a bullet. Is that like an individual bullet point? The freaking Splatfest thing.
That's in the section above it. There's some Super Mario
I tried to buy
events.
the freaking Superstar one, and it wouldn't let me it let me put all of my credit card information in except for the credit card number, and like I couldn't interact with that box. So it was like, nah, you just can't. You can't buy it. I'm sorry.
Weird.
So I'll try again today, but
it
might have been the thing. It might have been. Now I think about it, the thing that we were talking about off mic.
Oh yeah,
it might have been because of that.
Could be.
We'll see.
Yeah, worth a shot. But I mean, my main takeaway for this is we knew about a lot of things like this already, like the Lego thing and all that, and all of it super cool. I'm not gonna get really any of it, but just because I'm cheap. And
wow, dude,
all
fake
that.
fan, How dare
pretty
you
much
not spend what is this? What do you think? Like 300, 400, 300,
all of it,
$400.
I mean, if you include the Lego stuff, that's
so many right there. Well, that's okay. So yeah, like all the Lego like Mario set. So it's $250 for the NES, and it's like
probably
all
like
the other
total
Mario
of
stuff.
300.
I would say that's probably like another like $150. All the Mario stuff.
I think
so
maybe
that
more like
alone is
300 to be honest, because just the Bowser's Castle set. Yeah, the Mario Lego stuff. The Bowser's Castle set on its own is $100.
Oh,
the base set is.
I thought that
60.
the highest one was the starter set or whatever, and that was like 60 or something.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of stuff, but I mean I haven't specifically looked into it, so I don't know. But all that to say,
all
whatever,
this stuff is at least.
Wait a minute.
Okay, let's say 600.
I didn't notice them say this. In March of next year, Super Mario themed furniture will be available in Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I saw that. I did see that.
I don't know how I missed that, but I did. So that's cool.
Is that going to make you play Mario?
No, it's just like
Animal Crossing.
But that's been a thing, right? In other Animal Crossing games, is having like Nintendo themed stuff.
Yep.
So like
they had like Wolf Link.
Yeah.
And freaking.
Well, I want Wolf Link in this.
Too bad.
I want it though.
That's next year, I guess.
I guess so, yeah. But yeah, so that's the kind of peripheral Mario stuff that's like cool. There's the pins you can get and all that, but let's move on to the other things. In order of fun, maybe Super Mario All-Stars, the like SNES one is now on
now
is
I'm
on
gonna
the
say the
SNES
Smash
Classic.
Brothers thing is less fun than that. The Smash Brothers in-game online tournament, that's less fun than the NES Mario All-Stars, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I was mostly just including the rest of the stuff from the events section because, like, same for Mario Kart Tour. I don't really, care about that specifically.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's cool, for anybody who's still playing it. Which I know, like Chris, for example, his whole family still plays it a decent amount. So there's people out there doing it. Yep.
Also, that's in the same category.
I don't know why there aren't more Ninja speedruns. To be honest, it's a bit. There's not always one going on.
I think it's despite Bob because he wants them. So they're like
probably.
We don't.
But like, they don't. You would think that it would be like one a month or something like that, or like one every 2 weeks or something. But they kind of come at weird random intervals, and you'd think they could just promote even like a creator's level to be like, we chose Janitor L's level. I don't know. Somebody's named Janitor L now. To be the ninja for this month.
Assume somebody's called.
Yeah, somebody. It's the janitor from Scrubs,
or whatever. I didn't even know that.
I can't remember what his actual name is, but the whole bit is that they just call him the janitor the whole time, and he never says what his name is until like the last episode or something.
Gotcha.
But it's a whole thing. And but yeah, Super Mario All-Stars SNES is on the SNES games on NSO. Cool. I don't know. I don't have a ton of thoughts about it. You could already play all the individual games, but it's obviously these are the 16-bit versions of those.
Right.
So like different look but same experience. So I don't know if
the original Super Mario Bros looks weird.
It does. Weird. I think it's one of those things where like Super Mario All-Stars was like phenomenal for at the time, so that you could buy all of them at once. They looked newer, and like that awesome. Was
like the freaking like HD remaster.
Yes, it was like, and honestly, like, I mean, we'll come back to it later, but it set a pretty strong precedent of what it should mean to be an All-Stars collection kind of a thing. So it's just like it's not as super hype today, in 2020, but still cool. But Super Mario Bros. 35, this is pretty fun.
That's dope. So the freaking, it's like a Tetris 99 Super Mario Bros. Situation,
or what it really is like is that Mario Royale thing that got DMCA'd.
Really like that. No,
I mean,
I wouldn't say it's like that.
It's not the same gameplay, but like in terms of like competitive,
1-to-1, like it, like. It's that, but it's not. Right. That sort of thing. It's like the Tetris 99-ified version of Mario Royale. Because it even has like a similar interface to like when you attack other people and stuff like that. That whole thing.
So
it's limited though, which is strange. But I don't know if it's going. So I don't know if this is going to be a thing where it is actually limited. Right. Like there's a lot of stuff that they say this will be available until this date, and usually that just means this will be available until this date, at which we'll change it in some way where it'll be physically available, right? Or it'll be available for everybody. That like that sort of like weird caveat.
Yeah, I wonder what's the case with that as well, because like so it's until March 31st, but yeah, I wonder if it's that then it'll be a paid thing, or they're really going to stop it, or they're going to reevaluate it. The thing that made me think of too is like the vouchers. Those were a limited time thing.
Mario 36,
or like Mario 99 at that point, or something. I mean, probably that's too much as far as like I don't know, maybe not.
Well,
but
we don't know because they didn't like. It's a very deliberate thing. It's obvious that they didn't do 35 because like that was their limit. It was like it's the 35th anniversary, so we're going to do 35.
Right. Oh yeah, of course. Oh, okay. I bet that is what it is then. Is that because I hadn't even
100
thought of that.
Definitely.
It's
Yeah, I'm
it's
surprised
that
that wasn't like the
I don't know
first one.
why I didn't think of the fact that
Like they put
35.
one.
I thought it was an arbitrary number, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Is that maybe after March 31st, the 35th anniversary celebration will be done. It becomes
And then
Mario
okay,
99.
so I wasn't even thinking that. I was just thinking that they would like release it as like a physical thing or something. But yeah, that would be even more wild.
I think
if they were like,
after
all right, it's
that,
99 people now.
yeah. Which I mean, at that point, because what I was first thinking is like that would be too much because then there's like too many items going places. But it's the same ratio. You know, you still have as many items going to as many different people as whatever. So like, you know, it probably would work exactly the same. You just have
also,
to
like it's kind of like you know how boost mode works on the Switch where it just happens when it's loading usually. It's kind of like that where it's like there's not going to be 99 people playing this game all at once all the time. It's going to be 99 people for 4 seconds, and then 7 people are going to drop out, and then 12 people are going to drop out 15 seconds later, and you know, like almost the entire time that you'll be playing this game, it will be like at most like 3/4 the amount of people that started, you know.
So the thing with this is like I think the playable until March 31st is just a question mark as far as like it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It could be actually good, but it also could be bad. And if it means that there's no way to play it after March 31st and they're like, that was it, I hope you guys enjoyed that experience, then that's straight up just dumb. Like, come on. There's no point for that. But I think probably more likely with this kind of thing.
I will say, and this isn't like me trying to defend them. This is just me speaking the reality of it. Who's really going to be playing this March 31st, 2021?
I don't know. I mean, I guess that just really depends on how much fun, because like people are still playing Tetris 99 all the time.
Yeah, people are still playing Tetris 99, but I would say it's significantly like if 2 million people were playing it launch, there's probably like 100,000 max playing it now.
Yeah.
And I think
so the question is Mario Bros.
I'm not saying that as a way to be like, well, nobody's going to be playing it anymore. I'm just saying I personally don't care because I know I'm not going to be playing it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Which, I mean, at that point, that'll come up in another topic of ours that's not Mario related later. But yeah, I think it would still be one of those things that's nice to have to just like go into and play, but only if it's fun. Like if I play it on October 1st and I don't care about it, then I'm like it. All right, it's done. So it'll be an interesting thing. But in any case, it's a cool idea. I'm glad they're doing it. I'm glad that they have. I wish that they'd added like, because September's coming around and that's the anniversary of Switch Online and stuff. I wish that the things that they added weren't just Super Mario All-Stars and this as a thing, but this is definitely worth several classic games as far as like
I think a lot of people are going to subscribe just to play this.
Yes, right. Or at least stick around to play this because they had it before and that kind of stuff.
I think people that had it before are going to stick around anyway. Yeah, just because of all the other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's so many games at this point are, like if you play Animal Crossing, if you play Smash Online, whatever, like you need it anyway. And it's, again, it's $20 a month. I got the family one recently.
And it's also even less than that if you just get a freaking family plan, dude.
Yeah, that's what I've got now. And I've got 5 people on it. So
like that's crazy.
It is crazy. So, but that's their Super Mario Bros. 35. Cool stuff. Weird dates, but whatever. The next one, this might be one of the ones I'm most excited about, to be honest. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury.
Yes, I'm significantly more excited for this than anything else that they announced.
Yeah,
because number one, online multiplayer, and I'm still, I freaking woke up this morning, dude. I didn't see any reports on my desk, not a single one, and this is upsetting because, as is the norm. People, whenever we say something that's like, it'd be cool this, and people are like, that'll never happen. 3 months later, it happens, and then all those people are silent. Like they're like freaking, there's nothing said, and like a lot of times there'll be people that like actively watch us and like us and comment and stuff like that. But it's just like they'll be like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that makes any sense. And then it happens, and you can't even be like, you know what? I was wrong or whatever. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
I loved on this note too, of the person on Twitter that was like, if there's a Mario Direct, there's not going to be a Mario Direct. If there's a Mario
if there's
announcement,
a Mario Direct,
I'm buying everybody this game.
It was specifically the if they did the remastered collection.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
If they announced that, I'll buy it for everybody that retweets this. And then it got like thousands of retweets or whatever. And I retweeted it, and I was like, I say we preemptively file a class action lawsuit because like obviously this was going to get deleted.
I took a picture. Another comment on that one, somebody posted, not only will it not happen, but this particular collection will not happen in general, especially under that name. What they're describing is Super Mario All-Stars 2, and that is never going to happen in this video game climate. And I was like, okay.
I mean,
it was just funny.
With that specific phrasing, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's not Super Mario All-Stars in that way. You know, like this isn't like... You know, they didn't freaking like redo the art style for any of these games in the same way that they did with the original All-Stars.
Right. Which, I mean, we'll get to that when but yeah. But Super Mario 3D World, in any case, February 12th. It's cool that it has a date because that's helpful. But
I didn't even finish my my rant about online multiplayer. Me and Bob and Dan and tentatively, but most likely not, MDB are going to freaking play this game, dude. It's going to be lit. It's going to be a hype. And I'm going to buy my freaking capture card within the next couple of, well, I don't know, because they never have stock. That's the main thing.
Oh, really?
They never have stock. Yeah, because everybody wants to be a streamer. It's like, freaking quarantine. Let me buy all the stuff, you know? Like, and I just, you know, I did it backwards, where it's like I already was that, you know, but I just didn't have a computer for it.
Yep.
And now I just need the last little piece to the puzzle, and Elgato stock told me no. So,
but yeah, so on the multiplayer, which is dope.
Yes.
Otherwise, there's some other things too. I mean, so Bowser's Fury, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
It looks like, based on what John from Game Explain found, that the game in general, like your move speed is faster, and they've just like tweaked the actual gameplay some, which I didn't experience the first one in the first place. But sounds like can only be a good thing. So I'm really excited about this game.
I like the original game, but it definitely. So it's like the Mario 3D series, you know, 3D Land and 3D World. It's kind of like this like weird middle ground between 2D and 3D Mario games. And the way that the speed of the game works kind of doubles down on that, where it's like it doesn't feel as fluid as like the 3D games do,
right?
Like, in moving in the 3D space, because it really doesn't want you to be, you know. So like them increasing the speed, I feel could close the gap there between it being a 3D game and not.
And it's interesting. Like, I mean, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but like with Skyward Sword, how I think this game will be way better received now that we've had Mario Odyssey and a return to form or whatever, so that now it can just be its own, like, this is what this game is like, but like, don't worry about the future of the series, just enjoy the game for what it is. Whereas I think, you know, a lot of times, like, what a game is can, if it's the most recent one, can mean, that's what the future of the series is.
Waiting for their Mario Galaxy 3 or new Mario Galaxy 64. Sort of, you know, like experience the Mario Odyssey, the Mario Galaxy, the Mario Sunshine, even, you know.
So, but that said,
like an ancillary thing.
Yeah, Bowser's Fury, though, I don't know what it is, based on just the little bits that we saw, but it looks very cool.
Looks dope.
What do you expect? Okay, so I feel like either it's going to be something where it's a challenge, like just a harder mode that's in Bowser, you know, whatever, or it's that you're playing as Bowser in.
I don't know how. So I could see it being kind of like you're playing as Bowser and also Mario and maybe other characters and sort of thing. Well, if you're playing as Mario, you probably won't be able to play as all of the characters. I was going to say, because there's. Well, I don't know. Did they like make it publicly known about unlockable characters in the original game?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know if that's. I don't know if I want to say, but they put it in the. Okay, they put it in the trailer in the original game, so that's
Okay.
just. I'm sorry, but you could play as Rosalina in the game.
Oh, okay.
When you.
Oh
beat
well,
the,
yeah, you saw it in this trailer. Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
You
cool.
saw Rosalina
So,
in this
so
trailer.
like, I don't know if it'll be like a situation like that where it's like you unlock Rosalina and then you get to this part of the game, and then you also unlock freaking Daisy or whatever.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if they'll do something like
Waluigi.
that. Yeah.
Man, how great would that be? To be perfectly honest, though,
that would be freaking sick. But also, like, I kind of want them to delete Waluigi just on principle. Like, but yeah, like, I think that it's not a challenge. I think it's going to be something more substantial than that. It feels like this is.
Well, I
like
guess. Sorry, I don't mean necessarily a challenge mode. I just mean a new area that's that's more challenging.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the Fury part kind of implies that it's going to be harder or something.
True.
To me. Or that it's focusing on the Bowser
if it's endgame
part.
content, it's definitely going to be harder because they always do that. You know,
like the Champions Road
in
bit,
this game.
I know
there's like a whole
hard.
nother freaking 8 worlds or something like that when you beat the initial 8 worlds, and then it's like Star Road sort of worlds that you complete. So,
indeed. But yeah, I'm psyched about this game. This is one that luckily has no monkey's paw associated with it. It's coming out in February.
But that's the thing. I'm upset. I want this game to come out now in freaking Mario All Stars 3D 2 Super Edition Ultra Plus 333 times X.
That's the one.
I want that to come out in freaking February, dude.
Yeah, but it's not. It's going the other way around. So who even knew? But what is coming out in November, the Game & Watch Super Mario Bros.
I'm down
for $50.
I freaking made, and I'm upset because I can't pre-order that. I'm sad.
You can't.
It's not up for it's not up for pre-order. Here they said that they're going to announce details for pre-order later or whatever. That's what it says on the page when you go to buy it. At least on Nintendo's page. I don't know if it's on Amazon or something, because you know how they're like, oh, this product exists, we'll list it. Like that sort of thing. But it's already sold out in Japan, and I'm like, I can't even pre-order it, and it's sold out in Japan already. Like, that's wild.
Yeah, right. I think you can buy it in the UK too, because I saw people doing that.
I'm not doing that, but I'm just saying, I'm upset. I'm upset that they already have it sold out there, and I can't even like go to attempt to order it. But yeah, I want that. And I'm talked about in the video that I made where it's like, here's all the freaking anniversaries that are happening this year that they're not going to acknowledge. They kind of acknowledge Game & Watch anniversary through this a little bit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. You're right. So sorry, I got distracted for a second. But I mean, it's fun that there's, I don't know. I got myself on a brain tangent. But whatever, yes, it is cool that they're
all
dealing with that.
Brain tangents?
Every single one. Some of them are mouth tangents. Sometimes you can't catch up with what you're saying, and then you just get like lost. But the things that are on here are Super Mario Bros., The Lost Levels, and the ball game with the Mario face.
And it's also
a watch. Which
it's
like
games and watch.
It is. Does anybody? It's not even the right size to be. You can't put this on your arm anywhere.
No.
Like, I don't feel like it should be. Maybe watch is just just the double meaning, because you're exactly. It feels like it should be game clock. But if you're like watching it, that kind of thing. But all things considered, it feels $50 does feel. It feels pricey for it.
How
for
dare
me.
You watch your mouth, dude. Freaking Game & Watch got clout, and Mario also has clout.
If it weren't
Their
a limited
powers
edition
combined is $50.
I mean, apparently, yeah. I feel like I feel like I would have been.
It's a watch, dude. You can't pay $50 for a watch.
I wouldn't, but that's besides the point.
Wow.
Do you see any watches? I would pay $0 for a watch. I have no watches on my person. I've got a phone, so we're good.
So you paid $50 for a watch. The function to use the watch, that was $50, dude.
There you go. But I think it's really neat. It's cool. It's limited edition, so that also like justifies the price because it's limited edition.
That's the thing that people are mad about, where it's like it's limited edition. But that's weird to me.
I'm less mad about this being limited. This is fine to be limited edition because it's like, it's just a fun. thing. I don't know. This feels like the kind of thing that should be limited edition. I'm not mad about it.
I just feel like it's a contradiction to be mad that something that you want to be able to collect is limited.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that feels very weird to like go out of your way to collect a thing that you want to be ubiquitous. Because then at that point, why collect it if it's all over the place?
Maybe it's the same kind of thing as like when people stand up for billionaires, the Futurama quote of like, because maybe one day that's going to be me and I'd want someone to stand up for me, you know, that whole thing.
Yeah.
So maybe it's that kind of thing. But
possibly.
I don't know.
I don't get it. But also, I'm removed from this because like if I don't get one, I don't care.
Right.
You know, it's the same thing as the freaking SNES and NES Classic, where it's like I think it's neat, but like if I don't have one, I'll be fine. You know,
those, and I feel like with those, I feel that it's less justified that they're not less justified, but like less business smart or something for them to be limited edition because they can do a good job of being like an easy entry point.
I agree.
Gift, blah, blah,
I'm
blah,
just
blah,
saying,
blah.
I just,
but on a personal level, yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Like,
yeah, like,
yeah, I get that for sure. I mean, that's like same
because at the end of the day, it's like this is a digital hobby, so to care so much about the analog side of it is very strange to me.
Right.
Like as long as I can play the game, fine, I don't care. You know, but like not being able to have the the physical thing is very strange to me. I get that people are like that. I just know that I don't personally identify with it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much most of my thoughts on that. Nothing crazy, but it's neat. I feel like $50 mostly makes sense because it's a limited edition thing, but
how dare you watch your mouth. I'd pay $50,000, dude. It's a Game & Watch. This man has 40 years of clout.
Oh man. And then the next thing this was one of the things I thought was probably the coolest. Mario Kart Live Home Circuit.
Yes, this was freaking dope.
Super cool.
This is dope. And I already know I have to buy 2 of these. I already know.
I'm not going to be able to buy one for myself. Really, because like my house just isn't conducive to it. It's like it's sort of townhousey to where it's like a bit long and narrow or whatever. But so it's just like not going to be anywhere. But
that's your easy out. But
it is my easy out. Also, I just don't have $100 just laying around for it. Which I feel like again, it's one of those things.
Made a video.
$100 feels like the right price point. Or like just at the top end where it's like I understand it's justifiable at that price point, but also like it feels like a little bit less would be nice, you know?
I think it makes sense. I think for something like that, it makes sense. Yeah. No, honestly, like I'm more memeing with the Game & Watch thing, but I honestly think that $100 for something like this makes sense because like you can't. It's not something that is like the set requires a copy of the game, a Nintendo Switch, and the car to control. Right. So you're buying the RC car, the game for your Switch, and that's what it is. Like if you look at similar RC cars that aren't controlled by a freaking $300 tablet, you know, like they're priced similarly to this, you know. So I think that it's fair.
I mean, I think that's definitely a thing. It's like the toys industry in general is just expensive. So like that's something got talked about all the time with Labo, where people are like, no, this is like for toys, this is pretty cheap, you know, even though it seems expensive for some other people or something. Right. I guess the question for me too is I wonder how deep the game part of it is going to be in terms of like, obviously, you know, we saw what it is for just the gameplay, but like, will there be meta game at all in it? You know, like doing this number of races against these people are like more challenging. You know what I'm saying? Where that kind of thing would kind of help make it feel like, oh, it's a $50 RC car and a $50 game, or a, you know, $70 RC car and a $30 game. Obviously though, there's so much R&D that goes into it where it's like, you're paying for a lot of that as well. Yeah.
Also, like, I think that just because of like looking at the price of this compared to, again, similar products that aren't strictly video games or whatever, right? Like the breakdown's harder to look at like that, where we can say like Labo is like, it's a $60 game and $20 of materials, right, you know? This is like you could really go in either direction and be like, this is an $80 toy with a $10 or $20 game or whatever, right? Or you can say like, this is a $40 toy with a $60, or, you know, like it really is like the line is blurred with like how much of the cost is owed to what. So I don't know, like either the toy itself is like super high quality, you could like freaking throw it at a wall and it won't break, you know, or it's like a deeper game than we may expect it to be.
So I'll be interested to see with it. But overall, it's one of those things that like I want a parent friend of mine to buy it for their kid so that I can play it at their house. But I'm just not going to get it for me. But it's like,
you know how you're sending me Labo kits? This the same thing.
Yeah.
Freaking me and Nyla gonna be playing, and I mean, I guess her sister by the time this comes out.
That's true. Actually, do we know when it comes out? Oh yeah, October 16th.
October 16th.
That's real soon.
Should be at least like a month by then. So but could play a game at 1 month.
I do think like the whole just mechanics of it, as far as like getting hit by items and like the car stalling out and those kinds of things, like is really neat. I am curious. I didn't really.
Did you talk about that last week? I don't know if I talked about that at all.
About what?
About my sister having a child.
No,
that's why I wasn't here last week. For people
that
didn't know, there was stuff that potentially could happen. Didn't end up happening though, not yet.
But soon, babies shall occur into the world
at some time. Hopefully not. And at a time that will disrupt the regular video. Podcast is easier to be like, okay, just we need somebody to come on in my place. But the video, that's harder.
With the Mario Kart thing, do you know if we could tell? I don't know if we could, but like if you get hit by an item, it slows you down. If you go out of bounds, does it do anything? Like I didn't remember seeing that, but like they set up some out of bounds real life things just for fun. But I don't remember seeing if like you went out of bounds, if it would like slow you down some or something like that. I don't think it did show it at least, but that would be interesting as well. Cause otherwise that would be too easy to just like, you know, cut corners completely. But who's to say? In any case, it's cool. I like it. But then there was one last main thing that, that was announced that is going to be interesting to talk about, and we may have some differing opinions on some things. I don't know. Super Mario 3D All-Stars. It's Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy on the Switch for $60, coming out in 2 weeks.
Yep.
There it is.
Which is wild. That is coming out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, seriously. I didn't know you could have turnaround that fast for retail.
I did. We talked about this, in fact, where it was like, how long is there, like, do they need to announce something like this? And I'm like, it's freaking Mario, dude. Like, they could have dropped this game now and it would have sold well.
Yep. I mean, I more meant like even just getting stuff to stores and all of that, like for the retail side of it.
They likely already did. You know, like they're probably, I guarantee they started this process. I don't know if there's any currently in store, but they started the process of it.
Right. So, but yeah, it's cool. So I don't know. Do you want to go first on thoughts on it and the monkey's paw situations and all that?
I think it's cool. I'm disappointed they didn't more heavily rework 64 specifically, because I still think that game it did not age well, and more people will see that. I think that the people that are like currently feel like it did aren't going to really change their view on that, because it's the same game. So, so like,
it's going to run the way they thought it ran back then. Yeah, because like going back to it, it definitely does. Like it doesn't look as good as we remember it. It doesn't. It has a lot of slowdown in places that you wouldn't have remembered or whatever. But I still love it, you know. But like this will play like, oh, this is exactly what it was like back in the day.
There's not going to be like the slowdown and like all that stuff.
Yeah. But
it's gonna be like the idealized version of a game that like ultimately even like with that part of it addressed is still designed in a way that doesn't you know gel well with the current status quo, you know, like it's ukulele. If this game came out tomorrow, it would be ukulele, and everybody was complaining about ukulele.
I mean, even then, having played ukulele some, I don't know, it doesn't matter, but like as far as I do like, this is kind of what I expected as far as like my base minimum expectations for really all three of these games for like graphic quality and stuff.
As far as like all three of them being and I was going to get to that, as far as all three of them being packaged, I mean, we talked about this, and I talked about this in the video too, where it's like if all three of them were in one thing, there's no way they were remaking any of them, you know, that wasn't happening. But I personally would have preferred if they remade all three and charged $60 for all three. I would have much rather paid $60 for fully like modernized, HDified, you know, looking all great with the new models and all that crap, and reworked endgame and like, you know, different level design. You know, I would have paid $60 for that.
Like 64 on on DS
or DS,
whatever,
yeah,
where it's like, oh, it's a new game, you know, pretty much. It's the same game, but like with different. And honestly, the problem is there's been so much precedent set for that kind of a thing at this point in 2020 alone, but like other years before now too, and even of their own. All
like everybody's comparing it to freaking
Crash Bandicoot, Spyro,
but like
Tony Hawk, whatever.
Crash Bandicoot specifically, garbage game. So like, I don't care how much they freaking, unless they made it a good game, which they didn't.
Right.
The product provided by Activision. Whatever, dude, you know, like that sort of thing. Like, I, even with my opinion of Mario 64, I still think that Mario 64 is leaps and bounds better than all three Crash Bandicoot games, period. Full stop. I
mean, I'm not arguing because I love Mario 64 anyway, and like, I'm fine with Crash, but I've got some nostalgia for Crash, but I quite like Mario 64. But yeah, I think there's no just, I think it's worth $60. That's not like, there's not really an argument against that. So it's fine what we're getting, but it really is, it feels like, I mean, you're right.
They're like, but there's three that got completely remade and there's freaking $40.
Yeah. Just because somebody else charges less doesn't necessarily mean. I mean, so, and that's not to say like, especially if you like Crash, the Insane Trilogy or Spyro and its trilogy are a steal on both fronts. Like, that's the fact that they remade them, are giving 3 games for $40 that are nostalgia games for you. Like, that is a great deal, but that also doesn't mean that it's the standard. It just means it's something to compare against, for sure.
Charge that because that's what they think they're worth. They charge that because that's what they think people will feel
happy
about buying.
You know, right. Which is accurate. Yeah.
And $60, I'm sorry to tell you, there's going to be millions of people that buy this game and are happy about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And I'm talking freaking, I would be shocked if this game sold less than 10 million units. I would be shocked.
Well, I mean, the only reason no, because digital. I was going to say the only reason it might not is because it's got limited release until
even then,
March 31st. Yeah, even then. Animal Crossing sold more than 10 million in like 3 weeks. So
exactly.
You know, it's not going to be
I don't think it's going to do freaking Animal Crossing level of sales, but I think that, or at least that fast or anything like that. I think this game, and I think I talked about that in my video too, where it's like, I think at the very least it's going to replace New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe on the top 10. Like, at the very least, it's going to be like at that spot. It's going to be top 10 bestsellers for at least the next year or two. I'd be shocked if it wasn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. So, yeah, graphically, again, I'd like it to do more, but actually, the thing too that's
specifically for 64, the other two, I'm like, whatever. Like, they
Sunshine is one of those things where like, so 64 has like some technical hitches and stuff because it's the old game. That'll be fixed in this. It'll look better, but blah blah blah. But like, as far as gameplay and game design and stuff like that, it's just a solid game, you know. Super Mario Sunshine obviously has had a lot more complaints about it over the years, where like, not to say that it's a bad game, but there's things that are just nuisances where like the blue coins or whatever, that it's like, I need to get a bunch of blue coins, but I don't know which levels they're in. There's no way to indicate it. So we haven't seen if things like that, just like kind of basic game design, quality of life things have been fixed.
I mean, they might have, because according to
hopefully, we don't know.
According to that like music video thing, and Bob retweeted this, where they don't say "so long, Gay Bowser" anymore.
Right.
So like, I don't know. Maybe they.
So
made
I think that was that was somebody said fixed in. Who said this? I tweeted it out and somebody responded. Sorry if it was you. But on the Wii U port of they fixed that, and also apparently I think camera controls were mapped to a stick instead of shoulder buttons, which, because that was the thing I was asking about, is like, I would love camera controls to be mapped to the stick in Super Mario 64 if it can, but I can't tell if they did or not because none of the footage like shows it. And so again, there's some of those kinds of things that we could find out will make these games, even though they don't look like leaps and bounds better, they do look, I mean, still a lot better. They look passable now, you know, whereas they would look painful otherwise. And you know, they look nice, but hopefully they fix some of the little quality of life things to make them feel like definitive editions, you know, even if
I would say specifically Mario 64. I think the other two, just up-res, will look fine.
Yeah, look-wise,
Mario Galaxy is beautiful.
Oh yeah, Galaxy has no issues on anything.
Sunshine, I would say, looks good, like passable, and Mario 64 is like, it's Mario 64, whatever, dude. Like,
so, I just hope they fix some of the gameplay things for Sunshine, like also the way you obtain shines, not having to get certain ones and doing them in order, like those kinds of things would be nice if they just tweaked some of that. But I don't know if they could have, or they could have for sure, but I don't know if they did and all that. But let's talk about the other half of this, the whole, it's only available till March 31st and what we think that means, or any of that.
I think it means specifically for the limited, for the physical edition. I think that, again, much like the Mario 35 or whatever, there's a strong chance that they, like, not so much go back on it, but like it would be like a branding thing where this edition is like the limited edition, the 35th anniversary edition, and then the next edition that they do physically is just like the basic B edition. Like, it's like you didn't get it on the ground floor, so you got the non-cool version, or it'll be all digital, in which case, whatever. You know, like,
I think, and I'm fine with that. As far as a limited physical release is, there's, technically speaking, there's always a limited amount of any physical game. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the way, that's why some things are collector's editions or whatever. The thing that it does suck for is if it makes it super scalpable, then that sucks. But I kind of feel like they're going to print so many that that's not going to be the case. Like, I could be wrong about that for sure. But even today, like, normally if something's being scalped by, you know, whatever, however many hours later, this is 36 hours later or something, it would be, you couldn't get it anymore. And I don't know, maybe pre-orders, you could just always pre-order it anyway. I'm not sure how that works. So
pre-orders are usually like,
a certain
they give them like a certain quantity where like, this is how much we'll give to you.
Yep.
And then,
so in that case, pre-orders are still up right now. It's been 36 hours. If it was going to be scalped, it would be.
I pre-ordered it.
Scalped by now.
So like there's that. And again, I don't even care. You know, this was just a thing of like, it's the most convenient way. Like, I asked Nintendo for it. We'll see if they send that. And if they send it, then I'll probably cancel it, honestly. But
yeah. So, I mean, I think.
And I mean, send the digital version specifically.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
I hope that there is a way to.
I just want to play the game.
For it to be like. It would be really dumb if they just legitimately stopped after March 31st. And the only reason I could see for them doing that is because then they want to like benefit off of like, oh, now N64 is coming to Nintendo Switch Online and Mario 64 is on that and stuff, which is like, but that would still be lame because I don't know. All sorts of other things.
But even if that's what, if they completely stop, I would agree with that. If they completely stopped and it wasn't available digitally,
if it was a slightly different version, I don't.
But if it was like, fine. Even if like they completely were like no more physical copies, I couldn't care less. The game is still available. You can still play the game. Like if they stop selling the game, full stop, then I'd be on board. Then I'd be like, yeah, this is stupid.
Yeah.
But I just,
that's what they're like saying right now. But I don't know that's going to be.
Did they say it? The game
yeah, they said digital as well. So like you'll still have access to it. Yeah. Because people were asking, because it's worded a little bit confusingly to where people were saying like, yeah, you won't have access after March 31st, and people are commenting like, so they'll like delete my game off. Like, no.
Oh,
Obviously
yeah, no,
not.
I got that.
They just, you won't be able to buy a new copy physically or digitally after March 31st.
If they do it where they do bar people from buying it digitally at all, then yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah. The one thing I am curious about too, though, is like, because if it is, it is the 35th anniversary collection, it's got like the music and stuff included in there. I do hope that the presentation is at least feels like a Nintendo product of like, it's not just like, beep, 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 here's 3 games, which one you want to play? But like, it feels like a more complete experience. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And so that said, I could see if that changes for the post 35th anniversary thing as well. Again, like that's, I don't feel like that's as big of a deal as long as it's still available for purchase at all. So, yep, those are my thoughts on it. But in any case, I'm excited to play it. I actually have played Super Mario Galaxy 2 all the way, completed it. But I've never played Super Mario Galaxy 1 because when I went to buy Galaxy 1, they only had Galaxy 2. So I was like, guess I'm playing this one.
They stopped printing freaking Galaxy 1? How dare?
So there you go.
How freaking dare they?
Which of these are you most excited about playing first? That's what some other people are asking too.
Sunshine.
Nice.
Because it's the one that I have like the
fewest memories of.
Memory.
Yep. That's actually, ironically, the one that I've played most recently, but most recently is the one time I've played it back in 2017. So
you should have put your Twitter on the thing. I just realized that. I should have brought that up to you. I did that on the bottom. I don't know where I'm going to be on the recording, but bottom left, like freaking here, dude.
Oh.
Twitter.
Yeah.
But your Twitter is pretty much that.
It is.
You don't have that.
Just put an at the beginning. So yeah, that's all the announcements that came out of that. We talked about it forever because that's how things go. But any kind of like closing thoughts on all that? How did you feel overall about the event? What does this mean also to you for the rest of the year now that they've fleshed out some of this stuff? Any of that? I have thoughts.
So like when this happened,
Mm-hmm.
I woke up and I had a pretty good idea that it was going to happen because we knew.
Right.
And it was like this thing of like they're going to shadow drop because like why?
Because they hadn't. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it just seems like the sort of thing that like shadow drop it. So like because there's only bad things that could possibly happen for announcing it beforehand. But if you shadow drop, like either way, they're going to trend. Either way, everybody's going to see it. Like it's going to be the news of the day. So why announce it beforehand to allow for negative? The only thing, and I was seeing people say this, the only like negative side of not saying it beforehand is for people like us, where it's like, well, we can't play content, but like, is that their job?
Right.
Like that feels weird to like put it on them to give us stuff to talk about, and then in the same breath argue that we're worth whatever to them, right? Because then they're giving us work to do rather than us promoting for them or whatever, whatever the argument usually is. So I don't know. I just think that like it shadow drop something like this.
Yeah. Right.
So I woke up, I watched the thing, and I was like, dope, cool. And I left the same way that I've been going through pretty much every year since Smash Bros. Came out, where it's like, all right, I wasn't expecting this. It's cool. I'm going to play it. I'm down. That's just pretty much where I'm at. I'm ready. I'm hyped for freaking 3D World, though.
I know. It looks great.
Like, because 3D World, like, I liked it. But, like, it was like something that I was like, if this happens, cool. If online happens, hype.
Yeah.
And they did it. So hype.
And I don't know why I'm so excited about the extra content because I haven't played it in the first place. So the extra content doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
but
so you already have a bunch of content. Because like I said, there's a lot of worlds in this game.
Yeah. I mean, I think part of it is like getting to experience something for the first time at the same as everybody else is just fun. So like that'll be a nice thing to, be able to do that. But also, I think I just like the look of it. It's fun to see a kind of darker worlds, Mario kind of thing and all that. So I don't know. We'll see. The other thing with this too that I think it solidifies, and luckily so, because now we can just kind of like rest easy for the rest of the year, is this is pretty much everything that my expectations for the rest of the year is we'll have the couple more partner presentations just because they mentioned that we're going to have more. So probably one in, I don't know. It seems like it was around the 20th in July, 20th in August. It's not necessarily going to keep up that trend, but like roughly maybe around the 20th of like September, October, maybe November. I don't know, probably not. But so like maybe 2 more partner presentations. And then at most, maybe we'll get one more shadow drop of a first party thing or like a Smash character and all that. But pretty much like this is the rest of the year. So we can kind of calm down now that we've had this thing.
I don't know if people will calm down, but I do think that we'll probably have like a thing because right now there's no holiday game.
You're right.
Still,
I think there's still a holiday game. To be perfectly
I
honest,
think they still have that.
It'll be Twitter dropped. I think still.
Yeah,
but you know,
yeah, it'll either be like a random direct. It'll be like freaking Paper Mario,
right?
Or it'll be like this. Sort of thing. But I do think that there's going to be something in November. Like they have the Game & Watch thing in November, but like I doubt that that's going to be like their holiday play. Yep. If it is, that'll be fine for them because
I mean
that's
they have
sell.
Pokemon DLC that'll probably be out in November and like Smash character and stuff. But yeah, not an actual game.
Yeah,
and so I would guess probably November. So I mean, it'll probably be a month or so before we hear anything about that, but. For now, we can rest easy. So that is nice. Just like a feeling of completion of like, all right, the year's pretty much, I don't know, something where, it doesn't feel as tense for some reason.
I don't like that either, but yeah.
But speaking of tense things, Pikmin 3 was taken off of the Wii U eShop for $20, but it was put back on because people were so mad about it.
Now everybody's going to buy it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody go buy it.
So it is funny. I realized in some of the things we were talking about with the Mario things, the way I was talking almost refuted my, not argument, but kind of argument against
how you feel about Pikmin 3.
How I feel about this. I think there's 2 sides of this. On the one hand, absolutely it's anti-consumer for Nintendo to take it off of the Wii U eShop because it's like, oh, it's $20 there. People are going to go buy it for $20 instead. No, we're going to stop them so they have to buy the more expensive one. That's like, come on, don't do that. That sets bad precedent and that's not good. But on the other hand, at the same time, I don't know that there was actually a single real person that Nintendo had to be worried about that for them to bother doing it.
Because also, in reality, it's not $20. Because the Wii U sold
you have to buy
13 million units.
And like
so you got to buy a Wii U and then buy Pikmin 3. Yep. So what? Modest estimate, you're spending at least $80. And this is that's the most only $60. That's why I said modest estimate. Like the most modest estimate in the world. Like you got a friend that has a Wii U and they're like, yeah, sure, dude, I'll give this to you. I want to buy Pikmin 3 and I want to have $20. So I'll give it to you for $80. So
and I don't want to play it with all the new content or anything. I want to play the old one.
The one that has the Wii U wants to buy Pikmin 3. They don't. The other guy, he doesn't even have a Switch, dude, because he still feels like, nah, man, that's freaking big Nintendo. I'm not trying to give them money, dude. So you go to your friend and you're like, all right, I got a deal for you, man. I'll give you $60 so that you can buy Pikmin 3 because I don't want to buy Pikmin 3 with my money, but if I give it to you, it's your money. And then I'll also give you $20 on top of that just to make you feel good in your heart.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing. That's why they're spending $80 for this game. But because they didn't give Nintendo the money directly, other than the eShop giving them $20,
right? Yeah.
It feels better that way, dude. It's way better. It's way better to buy Pikmin 3 on the Wii U.
So yeah, I mean, I think in reality, I don't think it deserved all the backlash it did on behalf of actual people. I think it deserved it on behalf of precedent.
To be mad. Yeah, like
exactly.
That's what that felt like. Even though I don't feel the same way, I understand the backlash for the Mario stuff. I get that. But that Pikmin, all right, dude, you're literally being mad to be mad because there's not a single actual human being that's going to go to their friend and give them $60 and their friend's like, nah, dude, I don't think that's a good enough deal. Give me $20 more. That's not a real person.
I do wonder if there was if there actually was anybody that like any single tweet that was like, oh man, they took it off, I was gonna go buy it. And like maybe there was. And even if there was one person like that, I would be like, oh, okay, well, Nintendo, come on. Like
I was debating. See, that's the other thing that I feel like makes this even more dumb. I was debating doing the exact same thing, but once they took it off, I was like, okay, well, yeah, that solidifies the fact that I don't want to play this because I had a Wii U since launch, and I bought it initially. I lost the freaking physical copy. You know, hashtag physical is king or something. Like I was gonna repurchase it on the eShop, but like it just took me so long. I'm like, I guess that my psyche just wants to play this on Switch. So like whenever that happens, it happens. And they took it off, and I was like, that's the sign from the Lord. You know,
it is
the Nintendo Lord.
It's good that it's back. Like it's hopefully Nintendo now knows like, hey, don't do stuff like that. That's like pretty. I don't know. That's like just not nice to do, but also
not nice.
Who cares? You know, whatever.
Yeah.
So there's that. Not like a big topic, but
let us know in the comments if you're going to buy the $20. Are you going to go to your friend and buy a Wii U for $60? And then,
100%.
Or $80.
You better believe it. $1,000 for a Wii U. Next topic. This is just a quick one, but remember Gods and Monsters, that game? It now has a new name. And maybe is coming out on the 2nd of December. I'm excited. Next week there's a Ubisoft Forward.
Conspiracy theory time.
Indeed.
This is what the name is going to be, and this is what the name means, and this is how freaking Ubisoft is going to announce that they're not a crappy company anymore, you know?
Yep. That's the one.
Because they suck. Let's kind of double down on that. Bad company. But
there was that thing of like the internal memo of like some employees that were like, man, I just like, because obviously the employees themselves, like anybody that's not senior management and down probably is like fine for the most part, you know, you'd think.
Yeah, they're just doing their job.
Yeah, exactly. And like, so the people actively making the game, like they're fine. But I mean, again, I can't generalize for all of them, but like majority.
There's some people in there that suck. There's some people in there that don't have power.
You know,
that,
Roger.
They still, you know, he freaking steals the Snickers out of the company communal candy.
He does.
Freaking the cup every single Thursday.
The communal cup.
Yes,
it's not a very large.
That's full of Snickers. There's big cups. You ain't never seen a big cup before.
I've seen huge.
There's cups that are big, dude.
So the game's called Immortal's Fenyx Rising. Sounds like, which I think they did.
That's a try-hard name. I don't like it.
It is. I know. Gods and Monsters. It was like I liked Octopath Traveler. That they were just like, whatever. I'm sure there's a better name, but Octopath Traveler. Everybody knows it now.
Nah, they took Project out, and I don't.
They did.
It was way cooler as Project.
What if they just called it Project? They took out Octopath Traveler. Yeah, they just called it Project.
Project. Yeah. They should have did that. I like.
But whatever. So, Immortal's Fenyx Rising. There's a Ubisoft Forward this Thursday on the 10th, and so we'll find out about some more games that they have, and probably this will be one of them. And apparently, it's supposed to come out on the 2nd of December, is what the Xbox Store listing showed for the game. And if so, cool.
I'm down. I don't like the try-hard name though, because this is like the sort of thing that. Like I'm gonna want to call it Gods and Monsters. If I make a video about it, I'm probably going to call it Gods and Monsters intentionally.
Yeah,
like I know that there's times where certain games, like freaking Mario Party and Paper Mario and Mario Kart, they all like become one in my brain. It's going to be an intentional decision to call this Gods and Monsters.
Yeah,
because the other name Try Hard, and I don't like it.
It's true. But speaking of try hard, we make videos sometimes. And, no, so we made some videos, and that was all the news, y'all. Good job for listening to us talk about the news.
Good job, dude. You made it all the way here.
Congratulations. So now we made some videos, and we have some comments to talk about. AJ, you made a video. Give us a rundown. I
surely did. I talked about freaking Fall Guys and the influence that it should have on Mario Party in the future. Because it just makes sense. Like, I freaking saw this game and I'm like, dude, this is Mario Party Royale. Like, It's the most obvious connection in the world. And then
Yep.
whenever I bring that up, well, there's people I bring it up to that are like, yeah, that makes sense. But then there's more people that are like, what? Like, what do they have to do with each other? And I'm like, are you serious? Like, look at them. Look at the games, dude. But yeah, that's what that was. And just talking about this is what Fall Guys does well, and this is what Mario Party doesn't do well, and this is what they like share. But Mario Party doesn't double down on it enough.
It's true. Some comments. Spongeroth on a one-winged beach said Nintendo Switch will never get Fall Guys, and then this face.
Laugh emoji.
Yeah, with the crying tears and everything.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, man.
So sorry about that, AJ, but it's never getting Fall Guys.
Dude. I mostly wanted to immortalize this comment, so that when it
129,
happens,
we remember 129.
We know exactly who said,
yeah,
this freaking heinous thing.
It is weird to think. I was thinking about this when I mentioned Fall Guys in my video too. Of like. So yeah, Rocket League was a timed exclusive, and like, it does seem like PlayStation has more under the table seeming exclusives.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Where like,
yeah,
Nintendo will have exclusives as well, and Xbox does as well. But like, when Xbox has an exclusive, it'll be like Xbox exclusive for 1 year, and they'll like say it. And Nintendo, I feel like it's still the case like that more often than it is with PlayStation or whatever. Whereas PlayStation, like the whole Persona thing is still super weird, where it's like, does PlayStation, is it just like a favor? Like Atlas trying to say in their good graces, like, you know what I mean?
It's almost like Sony's anti-consumer in more ways than they're not.
Yeah.
And it's almost like this is the same company that was telling people to remortgage their houses to buy PlayStation 3s. It's almost like it's the same company, dude.
Almost.
You know, like I don't know. Maybe I'm overreaching or something. Maybe it's a stretch, but it's almost like that's the same company. You know?
Yep. What is it? So yeah, all that said, I mean, we're gonna get Fall Guys, but it'll just be a hot minute. I'm guessing 6 months is what I said.
I think at most it's 6 months. Like it will, especially since like the freaking like source code leak or whatever. But the Steam thing that had like the Switch listing and all that crap.
Oh, I missed that. So yeah, there you go.
Like it's inevitability.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I mean, especially it's Devolver and they love the Switch as well. So like, yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, next comment. This is from John Francis. What's the best way to read this? I'll just read it straight down.
This comment is a journey, dude.
You did it, John.
In the future,
Impressive.
John Francis. This kills two birds with one stone. When you have additional thoughts, leave another comment, because then we can go through the comments and like pick the ones that make it easier to talk about the comment on directly to you when we pull it.
It's true. But in the meantime,
in one comment, we're like going through the thought process and we can't really like dissect it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But here we go.
But also algorithm.
True. So John Francis says, I'm confused by this take, but I'm also here for it. So bring me your reasoning. Edit 3. Not commenting too much on Fall Guys integration since I don't know too much about Fall Guys, but I'll add my thoughts about what I can. If I ever sound like a jerk, please let me know, and I'm sorry. I try not to be one. Edit number 1. Making bonus stars a lot more skill-based and less random. We'll explain, but yes and no. I like the idea of it, but at the same time, then it becomes, well, this person is always going to win in this game. Then we'll all get bored. But I like the competitive idea because less random and bonus stars are a little too rando.
Okay, so this one I want to address here.
Yep.
I will address each edit, and you can. I mean, you play Mario Party, right?
Yeah, man. You better believe it.
Okay, so like, I think that even if you're bad at games, it feels bad to lose at something because of a random element that you have no control over.
Yep. It even feels bad to win at a game where you have no, like, if you're like, man, I did terrible, and it's like, you won anyway. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I guess take that, you know.
And it's not like the categories for bonus stars are completely random either. You can min-max Mario Party.
Right.
You 100%. If you're a try-hard at Mario Party, you can be like, oh, okay, I won too many events, or I didn't win enough, or, you know, you can approach it in a way that you guarantee a win, in a way that's not so much skill based as it is you just play this game so much that you can see the freaking bubble gum and strings and paper clips holding it together, you know?
Yeah.
So I disagree with that. I think that making the game make more sense with the actions that you take and how it rewards you will net out to be a better experience for everybody. Randomness doesn't level the playing field. It just makes it easier for people that are tryhards and know how games work to cheese the game. Like, if you play a top player in Smash Brothers on a random stage with items on, they're just going to exploit the things that make those stages competitively bad to make you lose harder. It doesn't level the playing field.
I think like Mario Kart is a good comparison of like there's randomness there, and it sucks to get hit by a blue shell and stuff, but like at the same time you don't automatically like finish the thing and then you were in last place, so you know what, you win, I guess. Instead, Mario there's Kart things like, where within the game itself, there's things to give you a chance to be able to maybe win. It'll bring you up to the middle of the pack to be able to do that. So like in Mario Party, I feel like similarly, and there are things like this in Mario Party where like halfway through, there will be something that, the person lowest placed in last place gets something or other. I don't remember what, like a bunch of coins or a star or something like that. But I feel like what would be better is like the person in last place gets a chance at something, like they have a solo mini game or whatever where they can win a star or something that brings them up to the middle of the pack. Include some randomness, but randomness like within the confines of the game, not post game where it's like everything's done. Now let's, tally it out and
even in competition, there's RNG. There's RNG even in competitive Smash Brothers. There's RNG obviously in like Pokemon and stuff like that. Like RNG is not universally a bad thing. But it's just the how Mario Party handles it when everything you do essentially means nothing unless you're playing like the meta game of like playing for the bonus stars, which is not playing the game. And for Mario Party specifically, it's like tiered randomness. Like if you're winning and you're winning because you're good and you're in first place, you're not going to lose. It doesn't matter how much stuff happens to you. You can get hit by the blue shell and the lightning bolt and all that crap, and you're still going to win because you're that much further ahead of everybody else. But Mario Party doesn't have anything like that. So like, there's no point of like playing the game with the hope of any type of real outcome. And the fact that you're playing a game like suggests that you at least want agency, you want to be able to interact with the thing and something happened because you interacted with it, not because the game told you that that's what happened,
Yeah, exactly. So continuing on, edit 2. The starting monologue sounds like you're asking for the moon. I know it wasn't what you were going for, and you were going for things that you want that also seemed logical, but it did seem a little moon stars and $1 million-ish. I don't remember what your intro was.
I
don't know.
I said imagine a lot, but I more so was memeing because I know people like see these videos and they're like, like this will never happen, blah, blah, like all that crap. It's just like me being
That's
like,
the point.
Stick with me here, dude. Stick with me. We're just freaking shooting the crap,
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't know. There we go. Edit 4. Topics need to appeal and fend off YouTube algorithms? No.
Yes.
LOL. Apparently. Edit 5. I say learn what you can from all sources. One of my favorite people to listen to, Jordan Peterson, says that, also, side note, in the same video that I did the Kermit impression, where lots of people commented, hey, it's Kermit, LOL. Also, a lot of people said I sound like Jordan Peterson, and I don't know who that is. So I don't know how to feel about that.
I wouldn't be happy about it, but we're not going to go into it right now.
Yeah. I legitimately have no concept of who that person is. So there's that for you. But in any case, Jordan Peterson says that assume everyone talking to you knows something you might not. And I think having an open mind on stuff eloquently does that. Cool. Sure. Edit 6. I actually don't think a competitive tilt idea, making it worth making it feel like you can get it good at Mario Party is something I want. If they wanted to add an extra option for something like that, awesome, but don't force it. Why? Not everyone is ready for the strategy or Monopoly or IIRC.
If I recall.
If I recall. I've seen people write that so many times, but
I'm pretty sure it's if I recall. I don't know.
I
I don't know
remember
what the C is
correctly.
there for.
If I remember correctly.
Also, that could be that. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Okay. If I remember correctly, you said sorry or something of the like. You might weed out a lot of families and people who might otherwise buy a Mario Party game by forcing it to be more competitive. For instance, my brother and his 4 kids have a Mario Party, and they definitely wouldn't buy it or allow me to play it with them if it felt too competitive. And then the rest of the comment, probably prior to the edits. You want Mario Party to be something everyone can play? Make the competitive things options you can turn on and off before starting the game. This would be annoying, I know, but I see no way to make Mario Party more competitive and keep it family friendly unless you add a menu to turn on and turn off things. Trying to decide if I should add any more. LOL. No, honestly,
I disagree. Again, most family games are like freaking Fortnite is like the most popular game with children right now, and it's a competitive game. Mm-hmm. You know, like having the element of surprise as to who's going to win the game doesn't inherently make the game more approachable. It just makes the game random.
And there is something to be said too for like, I think in the specific family context too, not only just family friendly, but like playing with, your family. There's something to be said for like, oh man, mom's just so good at this game. And like one day I'll be able to beat her.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, if all it is down to is just the bonus stars, because like I could see a toggle, and I was going to say the same thing earlier actually, of turning on and off some random elements, kind of like how you can control, like I want only bananas in Mario Kart or whatever.
Right.
But also it probably could just be tempered better or like balanced better.
But I would also argue that the majority of people playing this game would prefer for it to be less random. Like people think like before actually looking at how game design works, because most people don't, they think they want that random element because they think that that's the thing that's going to help them fare better. But at the end of the day, it just doesn't.
Because then when they do get better, then they lose to it instead.
Yeah, but even when they don't, because like I said, like most people that are just good at these games know how to game the random systems.
Right, exactly.
So like it just nets out to hurt you more than it's freaking trickle down economics, dude.
Yeah.
Like
I think Fall Guys really is a good example for that reason.
Because it's a game that people feel like they can be good at, but at the end of the day, people that are not good at games do well in this game.
Yeah. And also like even if you're super, super good at it, you can also lose in the first round just because of like how it's designed. So like but that's part of like the expectation going in and all sorts of things, so like I think there's ways that it can be balanced just better whatever. Finishing up this comment. No, honestly, I think it's time for everyone to realize there are core gamers, casual gamers, and people who barely game at all because they don't want to, too busy or have kids and meh. Although I guess everyone already knows this. So I guess the next step is game designers need to start out in the marketing and design of games from now on saying, this is a gamer's game. This is a family game. This is for people who have too much and barely, game. All we need to relatively stay in our own lanes because it is very hard to appease everyone. And if one group is happy and then another isn't. I mean, the fact that this video was made is my point. AJ, you don't feel like SMP or Super Mario Party is good enough. And when I can name my brother's family and some other friends of my parents just off the top of my head who are okay with it as it is, because I don't know, but I'm losing the feeling that I am a gamer because I was never really one, and I never really was one. And so gamers, whenever I'd see them, were in this clique of their own. You could join, and if someone has a wrong opinion, then they aren't a gamer. So my 2 cents. Lots to digest here.
I kind of lost you there, but I disagree because there's plenty of games, and like Smash Brothers is a good example where I like playing freaking items on and all that crap every once in a while. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing of what I was talking about, Min. I don't like playing like that because I feel bad because it does not do what people think it does. It makes it easier for me to beat you because it gives me tools that will kill you much easier than me spacing and like trying to like condition you to make certain decisions. It's like, oh, you just gave me a thing that lets me press the A button once and you die. Dope. You know, like it's that sort of thing. Like, I think that making games have better justification for what happens makes the experience better for everybody that's playing the game. Like anybody that's playing something that, and this is like an oxymoron, like they're playing something that's interactive, you know, you want your input to do what your input told it to do, you know, like you don't want the game to be like, I know you want this to happen, but I think I'm gonna make this happen instead and
Tripping
not
and
tell
ball.
you why. You know, like like that's not fun for anybody. I think that like the way, you know, Mario Party as it exists right now, and that experience is fun, and like the idea of changing it in your head might make it seem like it can't be fun if it's not exactly that anymore. But I disagree. I think that the core of Mario Party and the thing that makes it fun isn't that it's random, just like the core of most other board games. The fun of those is not that they're random. That, like, I very specifically made the Monopoly comparison because most board games are like that. Like, most board games are a thing of like, okay, this is the objective of this game. If I do this, this, and this, I can reach that objective and win. The only games that are not like that are the ones that people ultimately drop and don't play actively unless you're 3 and to the point where you don't really have that level of agency where you can be like this and this and that. And if you're that young, then you're not even really old enough to play Mario Party,
right?
And understand it even on that level, you know. Like if I started playing freaking Candyland with my 9-year-old niece, she's not gonna have fun with that because it's like, go to the blue. Okay. You know, like the game told me to go to the blue and I got to the blue because the game gave me the blue, you know, and I won, you know. Whereas like something like Mario Kart, even though I understand the game better than she does and I'm going to win, she still has fun with it because she knows, oh, well, I got the second because I was good enough to know that if you do X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 I can get there. You know, like it doesn't have to be competitive to the point where it's oppressive, but it needs to be competitive enough to where it's a game.
Right.
That's the thing. I don't want the game to play itself because that's just a movie.
Yeah, I think I've got a lot of thoughts, but I don't really know how to establish them super well. But yeah, I think just in general, like games are just going to be fun if they're designed well. And so for, you know, a game that's designed well for a family also will trickle up or whatever to like the core gamers and stuff, where like maybe it'll lose some longevity in that, you know, like after this many play sessions just won't be quite as much fun anymore or something like that, you know, like but nevertheless, I think there is something to be said for like a game that's designed well for the masses is going to also apply to the smaller subset of like core gamers that that kind of thing. So
Wii Sports. Wii Sports is super casual, but the game doesn't randomly say, I know you swung the racket, but I'm just going to make the ball miss anyway.
Yeah. We just gave some extra points to the other guy because like he looked like, I don't know, he was wearing a hat.
He looked kind of sad. He was sad that you spiked him, so I think we're going to give him 15 points instead. Yes. You know, he won because he's younger than you. You know, like games can be casual and also competitive at the same time. And competitive in the most like base level version of that term.
But at the same time, what I will agree, John, with though is the gamer click kind of like gatekeeping or whatever stuff. Like if that's what it seems like the game community is about, like that's very lame because I also care zero about that.
I agree, but I'm more so speaking to, I want it to be fun for everybody.
Yeah, I'm not even talking just about Mario Party. I'm talking about right at the end where he was saying, like, I don't know that I even feel like a gamer anymore because, like, gamers have this kind of, like, click, kind of the gatekeeping sort of mentality sort of thing, which
and I don't even
is a separate conversation.
Describing myself like that.
No, yes.
Like,
Right.
it's just, like people had this like very weird.
I
Like,
would not call myself specifically a gamer.
yeah, like people had this very weird like idea of me where it's like, oh, he must play games all the time, and he was always like super into games and stuff like that. The most gamer thing, and that's why it's like funny about like the whole thing about oh, that's nerd stuff. Blah, blah.
Oh, yeah,
like
right.
before this, I barely ever played. I literally got into several like not super like fights or nothing like that, but like arguments with like exes and stuff of like, why would you buy that? You never play games ever. Why would you buy another game system? Like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. You know, like, and if it's not, and that's why I get in these long stretches of time where it's like if I play a game at Smash Brothers, because my first thought isn't to like just play a game just to play a game, but I like playing Smash Brothers, so I'll play Smash Brothers.
Right.
So like that's usually the perspective that I come at it with, where I don't describe myself as a gamer. I understand games,
right.
So I try to talk about them in that way, where I don't like the whole idea of like, oh, you just play mobile games, you're not a gamer,
right? Yeah,
whatever. If you call yourself a gamer, you're a gamer. Period.
Yeah, and I mean, like, and in general, it's just not worth it to like create bubbles or whatever. Like, it's helpful for ourselves sometimes to be like, I can identify with these people, but then also there's dangers of that, of like, it's important to know like I am not the identity of these people, you know, like this. So all sorts of stuff. I don't know. So, you know, do whatever you want to do. If there's no games that interest you right now, that's also very fine. And if there's another one later down the road that you're like, oh, that could be fun, then come on back and play it again. You know, it's just very free.
That's the other thing that's weird to me about like the whole gamer culture thing, is people feel the need to like feel like they want to play a game at all times. Like this term of like, I'm in a gaming rut. Like, if you don't want to play a game, just stop until you do.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
Like, that's fine.
Next comment, this is from Grimhane. He says, all the yes. Mario Party on Switch is just in a sad place. Sure, it sold well. No one can realistically deny that a 10 million unit selling game failed, because really only a big dumb would ever even say that 2 million unit seller had failed. I agree that largely...
Well, actually, that's a shot at everybody that said that ARMS failed.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I agree that largely Fall Guys and Super Mario Party are very related. They're chiefly games with mini games as the core gameplay. They deliver that content differently, of course, a game board versus just tossing you into the mini game and the number of players. Bonus stars should be awarded for doing things that enable you to win the mini game, be it by eliminating your opponent directly, but also by specifically not interfering with them either, thus rewarding successful methods of both style of play while punishing failure by not giving you a star if you interact with another player but fail to eliminate them. While the boards are mostly vehicles to the minigames, they still play a role in the game itself. So yes, more and new boards should be added. The basic infrastructure for this should be there already. Just piece boards together, and the harder part, make art for them. I think I've ranted before about what a bad choice it was for Super Mario Party to not have full online play. The only argument to be made against it is if people have to drop, but really just have an AI take over for them. Problem solved. Just give us full online play. Cosmetic items would be great. It'd give some actual purpose to seeking out more stars rather than just ensuring that you had more stars than your opponents. Mario Odyssey does a good job of this with coins. Bring the concept to Super Mario Party. Finally, I think Super Mario Party could benefit from taking note from some of the minigames in Fall Guys and using variations on them. Tweak the length of time if needed, but I think most of the games could basically be brought over as is with a coat of Nintendo paint and polish to make it feel like it more solidly belongs in the Mario universe.
Yes.
There we go. Yeah, I mean,
I agree. Yeah.
I'm with you on, pretty much all these things, but a lot of the things seem fun. The full online play seems just dumb to me that it's not
very
a thing.
Dumb. And every time, with the exception of this video, there's no comments like that on this video.
Yeah.
But people always say, whenever I freaking talk about this, or in the past when Logan talked about it that one time, people are like, I don't want to play this game online because it takes too long. And who wants to play a game that long? I'm like, what? There's like, you could play freaking full games of Madden.
Yeah.
Football games are like freaking 3 hours long and crap. And when you have to leave, you just say save and quit, and then you can
Mhm.
return to the game whenever. Or there's other
Mhm.
solutions that can solve
Yeah.
it, where again, like you said, or like Grimhane said, the AI
Mhm.
and like that sort of thing. Like nobody's shackling you to the TV.
Right.
If you want to play, you can play, but if you don't, then you're done. But that doesn't mean that you should like wall off content because you think people, or I don't think that Nintendo thinks this. I think they're just not doing it because freaking, you know, Nintendo and the monkey law thing. Like it's just a bad excuse to be like, there's no, obviously this is the reason. It's like, no, it's just not the case because it's not. In the same way that like freaking Mario 3D World didn't have online play. It's not because the game wouldn't work well with it, just because it didn't. Period.
Yeah. Right. I agree. So yeah, all that kind of stuff. I also, the cosmetic things, I think in general, having like more reasons to go back and play, like unlocking things within a game. Like I've said it so many times before, but like that's something that matters to me, is having meta game reasons to play the game is just helpful and fun. You know, like I'm at this point, I'm going through, it's been a while since I played Clubhouse games because I've got other games that I'm playing, but I'll still go back every once in a while and be like, all right, what's a game that I haven't gotten a trophy on yet? I'm going to go and play that game and get that trophy just because it's fun to like feel like I've achieved something. So getting unlockables is just always fun in that. So, yeah, lots of good ideas.
And I think stuff like that is like, it's like the whole Splatoon thing. Like I talked about it in the video where it's like, hey, this thing is happening in this game. And if you play it, you can engage with thing, you know, like freaking Pauline, dude, you can unlock Pauline, play the game, you know, like that sort of thing.
It's true. Any last thoughts about your video, AJ?
Yeah, man. Fall Guys is definitely coming to Switch. Mario Party needs to be more competitive. And Grimhane is right, you know?
Yep. It's true. So there you go. All right. And now I made a video and we got some comments on it too. Long story short, the video was games that should obviously be on Switch, but just are not yet. And people gave some great examples of other ones in the comments. So starting off, Cool said, what if Nintendo and Sony can cut a deal? Nintendo gets Persona 5 and Sony gets Shin Megami Tensei 5, but have Shin Megami Tensei 5 be a timed exclusive for the Switch, just so it's fair, since Persona has been a PS exclusive for a few years now. A 5 for a 5. Both parties will benefit from this, and I have no doubt that both games will perform amazingly well on the other console. Rip Xbox. Some other games I think would be amazing for the Switch are Yakuza games, older 3D Sonic titles, and please Rockstar give us Bully, Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption 1, and GTA games prior to GTA 5 if GTA 5 is impossible to port.
I'm gonna let you know GTA 5 is 100% not impossible to port. I'm letting you know that now. There aren't many games that are. With the exception of maybe PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X because of the whole SSD and all that stuff. But just how games have been designed for the past freaking, 4 generations at least. They're all more or less the same. So scale up, scale down, depending on platform.
I think the only problem with the trading the thing is just Nintendo and Sony. They seem very not willing to talk to them, but it would be awesome. Like that's such a smart idea to do that. Like, hey, remember all that money you got and aren't getting any more for your game?
I don't know how that deal works. I'm really like, I think Shin Megami Tensei is very squarely like, this is a Nintendo thing, period.
Right. Yeah.
But the Persona situation is very strange. I don't know if it has like a clause in there that is specifically like PlayStation exclusive for console, like if it's a console exclusive thing in perpetuity, because like that seems very rare. Like it seems like console exclusivity and you can put it on PC but nothing else is like doesn't happen that much. Usually if you put it on PC, it goes other places.
I think that's been more and more of a thing though recently, because like specifically with a bunch of PlayStation titles that I guess it started with Xbox.
Well, that's because that's a first party thing. I'm more so talking about like third party titles that they're like, all right, we'll put it on PC, and then they like window it where it's like it comes to PC and then it comes to Xbox, like Rocket League, where it's like it was PlayStation and PC, and then it went to Xbox, and then it went to.
Well, I guess the question too will be like, because Daemon X Machina is kind of a similar situation where it was Nintendo exclusive, but then now it's going to be on PC. or is on PC at this point, I guess.
So the question is,
will that one go
Xbox and then PlayStation?
Exactly.
Or PlayStation and then Xbox.
Right. So, yeah, interesting.
But then the question also becomes like, is that different? Because like that game was co-designed and developed by Nintendo. Because there's like Fire Emblem staff that worked on
I mean, unless, I don't know if it's a question of those people are still employed within Nintendo or just like used to work on it or are doing a side. I don't know. Yeah. It's hard to say. But yeah, all that to say, like, I don't see that happen, but that would be a fantastic way to go about that. And the other ones, Yakuza, lots of people said Yakuza, and the other 3D Sonic titles and all that. Jordan,
I'm down for Bully. I don't care about Red Dead Revolver.
I don't even know really anything about Bully other than it's like a bully in like
You're
high school, right? Or middle school or something.
Yeah.
Nice. Jordan DeBest said, I'd eat up Pokemon Emerald for Pokemon's 25th anniversary next year. What's dumb, though, is the Life is Strange series. I only like the first game, and that game is running on phones. So
I don't know why that's not on there. That's weird.
That doesn't make any sense. I think
it doesn't make any sense.
Lots of Square Enix
also, that game
stuff
looks like trash. The first game looks like garbage, dude. So like, I'm not buying that it's a graphical thing or anything like that. Like
that one makes me think of a number of companies that just like don't really make sense how they like. Yeah, Square Enix has a ton of certain franchises, but then like isn't doing Kingdom Hearts. Hasn't done any of the Tomb Raider stuff.
That's like, another thing that like the exclusivity for that freaking series is weird. Like it seems like they have like this weird, like it's very strange. Like get your stuff together, dude. You know?
Man. And like Ubisoft is a bit the same way where like there's some companies that just seem like they are really gung-ho about Nintendo or the Switch or something, which really I think means that there's some deals that were set up towards the beginning of the life cycle or whatever, where like Bethesda, for example, I don't know that Bethesda really cares about the Switch all that much. I think really it was just that Nintendo was like, here's some money. We want you guys to be there right at the beginning. So like, let's do it. And they were like, all right, we'll do it.
I couldn't see Nintendo doing that for like,
I don't know, or maybe not money, but just marketing stuff or
like something. I could see that, them being like, hey, we'll help you market these.
Yeah.
But I can't see them being like, yo, here's freaking.
I think I did hear somebody was saying like Nintendo, they didn't publish it, but they did some distribution or stuff. So probably they did like give them
I know they did with
cuts.
like, I mean, it feels like they do that with press for, I mean, not press, PR for most games where like they sent us Wolfenstein, but they didn't like exclusively handle that, you know?
Yeah.
Like I asked Bethesda for Wolfenstein and they said no, but Nintendo said yes.
That's so weird.
It is weird.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's just companies that it doesn't really make sense what they're doing and why they don't just like try to put everything on at this point. I'm sure they've got like plans for a long time down the road, but it just doesn't make a ton of sense. There's my dog barking back. Alec is baking. Sorry, I always do that.
How dare you?
What up, Alec? Said, I'm so torn on Kingdom Hearts. I want more people to play it, but I don't need to buy 1 and 2 for a fourth time. I will buy it because, as previously mentioned, Square owns my soul. Konami not doing anything with Metal Gear is a shame. It would be no problem to run 1, 2, and 3 on Switch. More Sonic games, Epic Mickey 1 and 2, I'm pretty sure would also sell really well. Yep.
I think those are all on Switch. I don't care about any other Metal Gear game except for Metal Gear Solid 5. And I don't even care about it for the story or anything like that. I just like the gameplay loop. Gameplay loop is fun.
Okay. I thought people didn't like 5 for some reason.
Yeah, people didn't like 5 because the story. And I don't care about the story. Like I was like, it's all incomprehensible to me anyway. But the gameplay loop is dope.
Nice. Cool. Last comment is from Duncan, who said, now the Mario 3D All-Stars collection is real. Gotta wonder how long it'll take for other companies to take note and bring the best generation of collectathon platformers back to the limelight. Cough, banjo port, cough.
I know. What is wrong with them, dude?
Indeed.
I
don't know. That doesn't make a ton of sense, but it is what it is. All right, and that's it from our videos. Now we got one last section, which is Q&A, and we've got quite a number of questions. So here we go.
Freaking community post
Yeah.
comments.
Maybe it's because the picture that I put up was the 3D Mario All-Stars logo. So maybe just.
But also, you put more effort into the into like whatever the words are. So maybe you should do those because I'm just like, yo, we're talking about stuff, and I put like, I don't know, I just don't know with the language or not language,
right?
Like, how to talk to people as a brand,
Right?
You know, like so, like
sense.
I'm able to like be me in the post where I retweet it, but like. It just like I don't know what to say.
I'm very comfortable just being me.
That's fair.
But yeah,
that's fair.
So in any case,
you're not
YouTube
like
community.
as Mimi in the same way. You're like more like
like
I can see you writing. Oh my god, I could see you writing like copy for commercials. like that's the type of post like social.
I'd be down to do that. That'd be fun. You got any jobs? Moving along. YouTube community. You guys asked some questions. They're great. The first one, unfortunately, I can't read what your name is. It's in Hebrew, which is awesome, but I don't know how to read that. So there we go. Somebody who wrote in Hebrew said, do you think another big title will be released this year?
Yes.
I think
sure.
Pikmin 3. No, just kidding.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it earlier. I mean, we both, it sounds like, think that probably there's one more Twitter drop of a Nintendo first party something or other that'll happen this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Pokemon Snap came out this year, just saying it.
Yeah.
But I think that something else is going to drop, particularly in November. If not planned for November, pushed to December.
Yeah.
Or not pushed to December externally, but like internally their plan is like, this is our November game, and then it got pushed to December. But it's my thoughts.
There you go. Psyche said thoughts on the limited date for the 3D All-Stars collection.
We talked about this, but I'll reiterate that I think if they do end up limiting it as a whole, dumb. Yeah. If they do it physically and it's still available digitally, or even the other way around for whatever stupid reason, cool. You know, whatever, as long as the game is available to purchase. Or even if they do it where it's like it's no longer a collection, but like when you separate them, like they're $20 each or whatever, I'm fine with that too. Yeah,
that one. I mean, the point that I've heard made and I agree with is like that's kind of dumb for them, just because.
Yeah,
that way they're losing out on, then I could buy just one instead of all three, even if I just want one.
But at the same time, that's pro-consumer. Like, no
exactly. So it's
like, because what if I don't want to buy freaking Mario 64?
Right.
Like,
and you don't.
I mean, I'm going to, but what if I didn't?
So yeah, I think I mean exactly the same. As long as it's, I said, I just agreed, I guess. I don't remember.
I thought you were freaking talking crap.
No, very much not. No, I agree. And I think the main thing is as long as it's still available in some way, even if it's branded differently because it's just not the limited edition anniversary collection or whatever.
The freaking you suck, you're dumb, you took forever to buy this, you idiot edition. Like
that's the one. That's how they brand it. I really do hope, like I said though before, that it has some extra features that we just don't know about in the game. And they want to surprise us when it comes out with it. I'm not expecting it at this point, but that would be like making it feel like a complete package and not just thrown together games. Because right now it's teetering on either side of that line, So
I think it's gonna be like freaking like the Spyro and Crash collections where it's like the game opens, you're like, which one do you want to play? And then that one, and then you press it on the screen, and then it's like, do Mario, and then freaking you play the game.
You're probably right, and that's what I'm expecting, but I'm hoping for more. Marissa Miller.
I mean, it seems like there's going to be some type of like different UI stuff.
Yeah, because of the
soundtrack and all that.
Right. So I mean, that could always still be just an additional like soundtrack at the bottom, So
true.
Hopefully something. Marissa Miller says, "Do you think Nintendo will do something similar for Zelda's 35th anniversary?"
Yes. As far as like the 3D All-Stars thing, no. Well, I hope that'd be dope. That'd be very dope if they freaking gave us Wind Waker and Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword.
It would be super cool.
Maybe.
My only real thoughts with Zelda 35th is just like
The Breath of the Wild 2.
Well, all that's okay. Prior to like what I want from it is like, I don't want to start thinking about it yet in the sense of like, we just officially found out about this.
But I see that was immediate. It was immediate because as soon as they announced this, they're like, all right, but what about Mario 3D All-Stars 2? like, all right, dude, come on, like calm down.
So that's my only qualm with it is that. But that said, no, I hope that they do decide. The 35th just seems like a kind of arbitrary number for like them to be like every 35th for every game franchise
we're doing all-stars editions,
but nevertheless I really do hope that next year
there's like
the
freaking like the Emerald anniversary or something, like the gold like paper anniversry and all that crap. Maybe the 35th anniversary is the remastered collection.
That's the anniversary. The report.
Yeah,
so I mean, I think as far as like I think we'll get Breath of the Wild 2. I'm super stoked about that. And other stuff. Yeah, I think Skyward Sword, maybe some way to play Ocarina of Time or whatever in some way. I don't know. Like,
so people also realize that is a game that aged poorly.
So I don't know. I hope so.
I hope so. and in response to the last thing I said
about sure, if that's what you want to believe, then sure.
I'm just saying that's how it sounded with the timing of your statement.
The Pagong. This is the second time that I've tried to read this name, and I apologize for butchering it. The Pagonging, hopefully, right? Pagonging. Okay. What is the game, not collection, that you're most excited for that was announced? What's what your favorite Mario game ever is, or what the most disappointing Mario game you've ever played? Thanks.
Okay, so the game I'm most excited for is 3D World.
100%.
By far.
Same.
The game that's my favorite Mario game, probably Mario Odyssey, maybe Mario World. I don't know. It's like I'm in the situation that I was before Breath of the Wild with Zelda, where it's like, I think my favorite's Wind Waker, but I think that my favorite's Link to the Past. I don't know.
Yeah.
But now that's where I'm at with Mario. Most disappointing Mario game? I don't know. Cause like now, if we're talking mainline Mario games, the one that I probably would say that like as an adult, it would be Mario 64. But like when Mario 64 came out, I was all about it, dude.
Yeah.
So
for me, I mean, definitely Super Mario 3D World for the first bit. Favorite Mario game ever? I probably would say Odyssey, but Mario 64, I still really like and has just a very special place in my heart. It was just my first ever home console game, so like that's a thing. But Mario Odyssey edges it out as far as being just a better game, and like being a fun experience in every single way. So that, and then the most disappointing Mario game.
No, what's the most disappointing Mario game?
Honestly, SMB 1.
Yeah. Well. Yes.
I liked SMB 2 better than SMB 1 and SMB 3, obviously.
Wait, which one? Oh, Bob's gonna freaking have words for you, dude. Are you talking about Doki Doki Panic?
I am talking about Doki Doki Panic.
Oh no, Bob's gonna be upset.
Obviously, Super Mario Bros. 1 was more important than Doki Doki Panic.
Yeah,
Super Mario Bros. 2.
Because like obviously we played those games after the fact.
Yes.
So. Right. Yeah, I probably yes. The first one that's a good answer. I like that.
Yeah, and it's a controversial one.
Whatever.
But whatever. Deanna Ortiz 92 said,
"Gonna be the first."
Yeah. What is Bowser's Fury? Okay, official predictions. I think Bowser will be playable in it eventually, but other than that, I think it's going to be an extra mode that's mostly same kind of level format. Even though it looks kind of more open worldy, I think it's got an open world kind of hub maybe, but the actual levels are.
I read this question so much differently than you did.
I mean, what is?
I thought she was asking why he's mad.
Oh,
like what is he mad about?
What is he mad about?
I think he's mad that freaking Peach played him in Mario, dude.
So true.
That's what I think he's mad.
Yeah. And I think he's mad about
it's a direct sequel to Mario Odyssey. Oh
I think he's mad
no,
about Bowsette.
no, she's not allowed. or mad that like Bowsette was like a thing. Like,
Yes.
okay, like he's mad at us, or not us,
Exactly.
but you know the
The collective,
internet.
yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
Good question. 7
But
asked.
also, yeah, I agree with Parker as far as like the more like Nintendo channel friendly take on this question, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, it's additional content.
7 asked, I can understand only making a certain number of boxed copies for a special occasion, but how does it benefit Nintendo to make a digital purchase available for a certain period? Also, do you think we could use our GameCube controllers through the adapter for Sunshine? So official answer for the second part.
Yes, but no. So like you can use them as controllers, but not as GameCube controllers in the sense that like the analog trigger sensitivity doesn't play a role in this game.
Yeah, because you can play pretty much any game with the GameCube controller through the adapter, right?
When it buys it, but you can do it.
It'll just recognize it as a Pro controller or something, I guess. But yeah, but the other bit we kind of talked about before, just as far as it's.
Well, we didn't really talk about what the benefit is. Oh, because there is a benefit for them.
Yes. Okay, that's true.
Everybody buy this game now because the world's exploding and you might not want to buy games now.
And then they can vault it and bring it back out if they want to. And then that'll, like kind of artificial scarcity, artificial hype kind of thing. I mean,
well, I
it's not artificial hype.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call it that.
I more mean for like the later time.
Because the general like thought association that goes with like artificial scarcity is that they're trying to like manufacture hype. And it's not that. Like it's more so them forcing you to make a decision that you kind of want to make anyway, less than it is them trying to make people excited about something that they otherwise didn't think about. Like in the way that the Wii was, right? Where people were like, it's artificial scarcity because my grandma knows about Wii because nobody can find one, It's like this is going to like push people over the edge that were already teetering and saying, I might buy this, but like maybe not because the world's on fire.
Yeah. So I mean, they definitely would benefit from it in the short term, especially
and saying that that's how they would benefit. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say that that's why they're doing it.
Right.
But they will benefit off of that,
So, but that said, I think I'm still of the persuasion now that there will be a digital way to purchase it down the road later as well. Just as a question mark of what that'll be.
Yeah.
So there you go. Good question. Last one from YouTube community. Michael Coakley asks, do you guys think Nintendo left out Galaxy 2 for a reason? They didn't even mention it in the timeline, yet it's the 10th year anniversary of the game. I hope they do something special with it.
I don't know. That was weird. Like, I always thought that it being left out of the rumors was weird.
Yeah.
That the rumor was always just these 3 games. I mean,
which means the rumor was right because it would be way too easy to guess all 4 of them, but specifically being like, nope, but for some reason, just the first 3 is
at the same time. I get it because it's like an era thing, right? Like, there's no freaking Mario 64 2 or Sunshine 2. So then just the clean break of like, this is the N64 generation of Mario and the GameCube generation of Mario and the Wii generation of Mario, period,
Yeah. Again, if they really wanted to like wow us or whatever, it's that they like Galaxy 2 would just be a part of Galaxy 1 or whatever somehow. We're like
Falcon. I saw Falcon tweet something like that where he was like,
I think
like,
there'll
be an unlockable bonus or something.
Yeah, which like I don't see that happening, but like it is easier to market the 3 games instead of like the 3 plus
because the 3D generations of Mario.
Right. But if they could put that in somewhere, because they would have to do the exact same stuff to it than they did Galaxy. Like that's not that much extra work technically. So the other option is, I feel like the 3 options are either somehow it's in the game, which I doubt, but would be great. It's just not going to show up at all. Like they're like, sorry, that's just, it is what it is. Or that they're planning something specific different with it, which I don't really anticipate, but that they do like an actual like remaster of this one that's separate. But like, I don't know what they would do that's that different for this than this would be anyway. So
you know what I could see them doing that would like kill two birds with one stone that they're probably not going to do, but like I think that this would make people feel a lot better than like the limited thing and all that stuff. It's like freaking Mario Day 2021. They're like, hey, here's the games that everybody's like, but what about Mario 3D? Freaking, you know, number 2.
Yeah.
Like they announce like HD ports of the 3D Mario games that aren't on Switch, but they're like separate purchases for like $20 or whatever.
I mean, that is possible. Yeah. So they do all of them are separately on there for $20, including the 3 from this are split up, but then they also do Galaxy 2.
And then like, because Mario Day is freaking March 10th, you know, you got 21 days to buy the collection or whatever, right? And if you don't got it, you don't got it, but you can still buy the games though, you know?
Yeah,
so
that's
like
I could see that kind
like
of thing
if you
too.
still want it, you can still get it, but it's going away, you know.
And then maybe even something of like if you bought, well, I don't know. I was gonna say if you bought this, then you get such and such for free.
Yeah, like
or
you
something.
get Galaxy 2 for freaking $10 off or something.
Right?
Yeah, like.
So that would be cool. Hopefully they do something special.
Just
with
told
it.
the future.
Also,
all right. So again, everybody in like we're both of our desks collectively.
If it happens,
it's like this isn't going to happen. Blah blah. I want a written apology.
I want sushi. I don't care about a written apology. I want you to buy me sushi. It can be grocery store brand sushi. That's fine by me. I have that sometimes anyway. Questions from Twitter.
Apology,
Alec again says, with Super Mario 3D All-Stars coming out, do you think people will finally realize how great Sunshine is?
Yes, but also no.
Exactly my thoughts. I think, it depends on what things they fix. Or like, I think there are a lot of people that'll be like, you know what? Yeah, it is fine. But I think actually bringing it from people changing their mind on it, I think they would have to actually fix some things that it doesn't look like so far they're going to have fixed. So I think it'll be polarizing either way at that point. But hopefully if they at least fix some of the control stuff, like the camera stuff in the like pachinko level and the behind the waterfall level and all that kind of stuff where it's like, it was just janky and hard to play those. If they at least fix those, then that'll go a long way, which I expect that part will be fixed for sure. Aaron Fields asks, most underrated and overrated Switch games.
Most underrated Switch game, I personally think it's ARMS.
Okay.
Most overrated Switch game is Kirby Star Allies.
Do you feel like it's even overrated? I mean,
yes.
Yeah, there's some diehards for sure.
Yeah,
for it,
bad
but
game.
Like
not good.
I feel like most people kind of just agree that it's not very good. But that's not the case because we get comments all the time. They're like, no, Kirby Star Allies is great.
You know, they updated it. No, bad game, period.
Yeah. Man, I mean, yeah, that's not a hard one to... I would say most underrated might be New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe.
Yeah.
Like
it's
a great Mario game. Like, sure, people were mad because it was, you know, they'd already played it or whatever.
But I think that game's almost underrated twice removed.
Yeah. You mean like the initial game was underrated?
Even I didn't want to buy the Wii U version because like it was like not that far after the Wii thing, and like on Wii it was like hype. It was like, yo, a 4-player Mario console game, that's dope, dude. And then freaking 3 years later, or less than that even, or no, I think it was exactly 3 years later, maybe 2. They were like, here's freaking Mario U, and I'm like, this is the same game but HD. I don't care. I don't care. So like I didn't even buy. I ended up buying it in the launch window, but like when I bought my Wii U, and I think I talked about this, I literally just bought, and it wasn't even like an intentional thing, but like every game I had, you were stabbing or shooting somebody. Like it was all freaking rated M games, like Call of Duty, it was Assassin's Creed, it was Zombie U, it was like all stuff like that. And I was like, I need something that I'm not stabbing somebody. So then like the next week, I freaking bought Mario U. So yeah, like even then, I think that game was underrated.
Yeah. I mean, it's not to say like that it's the top of the pack or anything, but I feel like it's just a middling kind of game, but it gets the reputation of a like bottom tier game, but it's not overrated. I mean, Kirby Star Allies is a good one. I wouldn't have felt like it was even overrated because I feel like everybody's kind of in agreement.
The fact that anybody thinks this game, even a
So-
single person thinks this game is good, and I don't even care about the kid excuse because, like I said, I freaking played this with my niece, and she wasn't down either. She was even more bored than I was. So I'm not trying to hear it. And this was when the game came out, so she wasn't even 9. She was like 7 or 6 or something. You know, she was a child.
Yep.
She's still a child, but you know what I mean. Like, this game trash. But anyway,
overrated. I don't know for the overrated one, to be honest.
I don't like. I mean, okay. So to be completely honest, I
Are we
don't like
also
the
talking
term
just first
overrated.
party? Yeah, right. Exactly.
I don't like the term in general, but
Mhm.
you know, to answer the question,
I'll go with that. Good question though. It was fun.
but if she said Switch games,
yeah, I mean, but I just didn't
I
know
don't
if it
know
meant
if that
first
just
party
means-
games or just like any games on the Switch.
she didn't say.
So I assume, I assume
just
any of
Switch
them.
games. Period. Any
Yeah.
Switch game. Yeah. So with that,
I can't think of other ones.
freaking what's a popular
Overwatch.
game? What's a popular? I was like, just for the sake of saying it. Like,
I mean,
what's the most popular game?
To me
that's on the
personally,
Switch?
yeah, right. I mean, that's definitely a thing. It's like if
That's
I'm
not
talking
any
like
kind of-
broadly, you know, like, oh, it's actually bad, but some people say it's good. Like that's different. But
Yeah.
like for me personally, I don't care at all about Overwatch, and other people really like it. So
Yeah.
like, you know, but that's not a like serious answer as far as I'm not saying it's a
Fortnite,
bad
dude.
game.
Fortnite.
Yeah. Spellbreak. Ugh.
I never even played it. Did people? I don't even know if that game's rated
For
yet. I
one
barely
time.
knew it existed.
Yep. I had forgotten it existed, and then it showed up in the Summer Games Fest thing. Oh, the Gamescom thing, and I was like, oh yeah, that game, and looked up if it was coming to Switch, and it was coming to Switch. I was like, yay, that's fun because I like magic and stuff, spells and whatnot.
You like being a Harry Potter?
Yeah, I don't actually care about Harry Potter itself that much, but
I said like being a Harry Potter.
you're so right. The top level, of course.
Exactly.
Falcon asks, a cue for your A. What was your favorite thing about the Super Mario 35th Nintendo Direct? What was your
3D
least
World.
favorite thing?
Least favorite thing.
I mean, there were a lot of just individual things that I cared zero about.
The what is it called? I don't
Black
even
Milk?
remember what it's called. Yeah, that.
Yeah, I mean, I
Because
think
that was
most
the
of
one
those-
thing that is very much is decisively not targeted at me. So I was angry inside, you know, like all gamers. I was
Exactly.
like, this isn't for me. And threw something across the room. You know.
Yep. No, I mean, I agree. I am hyped about 3D All Stars for
Black
what it's
Milk?
worth. But I think 3D World is it's the standout one for sure. And
Yeah.
honestly, I thought again the Mario Kart thing I think is
Yeah, the
legitimately
Mario Kart,
cool.
I don't
It's
think
just
the
not
Mario
for me
Kart thing is
specifically.
getting enough. Yeah, I don't think it's getting enough,
Yeah,
enough hype because that game looked dope.
I do wonder again about the like game
that
part of the
experience, I
game.
guess.
Exactly, that's the thing is like how
That
much
toy,
game
it's a
there
toy-
is.
I mean, it's a toy at the end of the day,
This
but
is
it
true.
looks cool. And
It
if
does.
if I was freaking 7, it would be the hypest announcement of this year,
Yeah,
bar
man.
none.
Yep.
But I'm not, so I think it's cool, but not the hypest thing.
Yep. Falcon goes on to ask, personally, I'm hyped about about Super Mario 3D World Plus is finally confirmed. I'm also glad about the All Stars coming to Nintendo Switch Online. Kind of disappointed about 3D All Stars though.
How dare you?
Chris the Butte asks, Parker, how many instruments do you know how to play? Your drum video is awesome. AJ, do you know how to play any instruments? AJ, do you play any instruments?
I learned a little bit of a lot of different instruments, but never got to finish learning them. I took like freaking piano and drums and guitar all the same year of high school.
Nice. Oh man.
Yeah, all at the
Yeah.
same time. And I got
That can
the
get
farthest-
confusing, I feel like, because like
Yeah,
I
it
feel like that about
was.
languages. Like trying to learn multiple languages at the same time is, I feel like your brain only has a space for a certain amount, so some gets like shoved out.
There's like certain things that like I feel like if you're going to learn an instrument, the one to learn, especially if you're trying to learn how to play, like learn about music and music
Mhm.
theory and all that stuff, is piano. Like that's the
100%.
one to
Yep.
learn.
1,000.
So,
Because
like,
you can
learning-
visualize all of it way better. There's a
Right.
lot more like it's like there's different instruments that have like just the floor and ceiling kind of thing of like same with like video games or whatever. And like piano definitely has a high floor, low floor and a high ceiling of like mechanically speaking, you press a button and it makes a note. You don't have to put your fingers in the right place and play and, you know, have a certain embouchure and blow or whatever. You can just like, but there's also like, you have to do harmony and things as opposed to like on flute, you only have to do melodies. So like that's a, you know, all sorts of stuff like that. But yeah, man.
Yeah. So like I have like a freaking like I'm like freaking 1.5 on all those, you know. Not 1.5 on like a 10-point scale. I mean like piano 1, you know, like, I got that. I'm 0.5 on that. 1.5.
Nice.
On all 3. But never got like super deep into it because like by the time I was like at the point where it's like, okay, I want to learn how to do more of this stuff. I more so shift from like being focused on music to being focused on this stuff.
Right.
So, like, once this stuff is like done and not done, but you know, like more self-sustaining and I don't have to like dedicate all my time to like furthering it, then I would probably like double down into music more because it's another project to like conquer, you know. But right now it would just take up time that I don't have.
Yeah, for sure. As far as how many instruments, so 10 is roughly the number, but some of those I'm a lot more rusty on right now. So, but mainly guitar, drums, bass are like the 3 that I feel the most confident in all the time, and like consistently am playing for things like church and whatever. But then otherwise, like keys, I've got a keyboard right there. I just never play it. But my mom's a piano teacher, so like I grew up playing a decent amount of piano. But I play mostly by ear and can't read sheet music at all. So that's that. But then otherwise, like ukulele, banjo, mandolin are all like some of the same brain space as guitar, but like in versions of guitar.
That's like another branch of music where it's like piano helps like makes it easier to, it's like learning like Latin languages, how it like makes other languages in that family easier. It's like learning guitar
you can
makes
reference
learning
the other
bass
ones
easier, makes learning ukulele easier, you know, that whole thing.
So that kind of stuff. And then my first instrument was actually flute, so I played that for a while. I broke my arm and I stopped taking lessons and started guitar instead. But so flute and saxophone and harmonica was the 10th one that I would always say growing up. And like, I say that in that, like, I can play melody lines and stuff on harmonica as opposed to just like, but it's, you know, I don't know who even cares about harmonica as an instrument. So that's the 10, but whatever. But it's been a long time since I've played. Like, I've got my saxophone and flute in the closet over here, but haven't picked them up since literally. So if you go listen to my record on Spotify, it's from 2012. And one of my goals for it was I'm going to play every instrument. So I played all the instruments on it, but then also like, I'm going to play every instrument that I know how to play somewhere on here. So there's one song that has flute randomly, one song that has saxophone randomly, just because I was like, I'm going to do this. And it's fine. It's a fun time, but thanks for the question. Moving on to Discord. We've got a bunch of good Discord questions. Look at that.
My.
All right, here we go. We're just gonna push through these, you know. Duncan asks, if you were a professional skater, what would your signature trick be and what would you call it?
I don't know.
I'll do what the board does, by the way, and it's called the slaptastic.
I like freaking, I don't even know how to like illustrate this. Hold on, wait, where's my, let me bring up my camera so I can like
so
see this. Like this would be my board. And
there you go.
Like, you know, freaking like, hey, you could do like this number, dude, and, you know, like freaking do all that. And it would be called the, you know, that's what it would be called.
On Tony Hawk, it just says like, you know,
or no, it would be like the freaking like shrug emoticon, not the emoji, but like specifically the like, you know, like.
Yeah, that's so good. So that's the one, the slaptastic and the Kushal asks, do you think Galaxy 1 or 2 is best? I personally think Galaxy 2 is. It's also arguably the best Mario game. I've never played Sunshine, though.
Wow.
I've put at least 250 hours into the second one. Man alive.
Wow.
That's a lot of hours in Galaxy 2 especially. I've only played Galaxy 2 of the two of them.
I think Galaxy 2 is better because they put more thought into like mechanically and like designing a game in the same way that they usually would in like a Mario game. It's a Mario game. Whereas like Galaxy is like more about like I'm on Wii, like look at all the stuff I can do, like that sort of thing.
Yeah. So I think it sounds like from the not having played Galaxy 1 that might have been a more momentous first experience, but now like being removed from it, probably if you're to play one or the other, I think Galaxy 2 might be that one just because it has more broad experiences or something like that too. I don't know. But it's a fun time. I'll be playing Mario 1 for the first time, so I'll be able to let you know my thoughts later. Cowboy asks, does the Mario 35th Anniversary Direct save Nintendo's fall and holiday, or is there something else you think they need?
I don't know. This is a hard question to answer because I never felt like, for me personally, it was in danger. Like I wasn't like disenfranchised like a lot of people are. I think that for it to save it for those individual people, it depends on if they like Mario or not. Like they might not like Mario, but like Max, he's still freaking pissed, dude. He still hates it, because he doesn't like Mario. Well, he doesn't like 2D Mario, so maybe he does. Maybe he is happy. How you feeling, Max? Let us know.
Let us know, Max. Yeah, I think my question or my thought with this is it staves off the like feeling of the need of like a direct or whatever thing that was going to make the holiday feel like it was going to have something in it. So like, yes, in the sense that it feels satisfactory now, but I think if they want no, I mean, they're fine. As far as like pushing hardware and stuff like that, this is plenty as far as new stuff.
Yeah, they didn't even need this.
Right.
But like them being like, oh yeah, you know that freaking Mario game that everybody got 90s nostalgia for, that's like the biggest money maker. 90s nostalgia is $1 billion idea. Like, it was a thing that people like, the 90s, like them having that's gonna shift more switches, they got Animal Crossing still. They got Pokemon DLC coming still. They got Smash Brothers DLC and all that crap. But like the 90s nostalgia of Mario 64, dude. Yo.
There it is. So yeah, I think Richard brought up an interesting point when he was on here a couple weeks ago of like people, the same people that would have been buying a Switch at holiday time maybe like bought it all early or whatever. And I think there's definitely some truth to that. But then I think also it taps into a whole new audience of like new people that if it were just what it was, wouldn't have been buying it anyway. But now we're like, yep, that was the straw that broke the camel's back, was the Mario.
Yeah,
Mario stuff.
And there's also people like, and I know that like my stepmom in particular was like this, or is, I guess they got grandchildren now. But that being like, no, like I know you want this thing, but it's a Christmas thing.
Waiting for Christmas, absolutely.
Christmas.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
There's kids every year that grow up to be the certain age that you get a Switch at, or you get a game console at. So yeah, inevitably, the holiday it's not that many more probably gamers, quote unquote, of like the core fan base that's coming in holiday season, other than the ones that are coming in for exclusive games or whatever. It's majority it's like families and stuff.
The gamers, it's like the straw that broke the camel's back situation. It's like, I was waiting for freaking Mario 64. I'm buying it now, like that sort of thing. So,
yep. So there you go. Grimhane asks a million questions, and here we go. How did Nintendo do the impossible again with Mario and make Sunshine work on the Switch without analog triggers? It's impossible.
There's more buttons on the Switch, dude. That's how they did it, man.
This was my favorite thing of when people would complain about Sunshine coming to the Switch, because I'm like, it's not prohibitive.
But they always do that on all of our videos, all of them, every single one, because most people don't think in that way. Like they're not creative, so it's like they can't think in the like what can be. It's just like this is what is, and because this is what is, they think of explanations of like, well, since they didn't do it, that must mean they just straight up can't. There's no possible way, like because there wasn't a Western released Smash Brothers character that was made by a Western company and is owned still by a Western company, that means no Western companies can have Smash Brothers characters.
Confirmed here.
And
Crash
then
for
that
Smash.
got thrown. And then that got thrown out the window because Banjo exists, you know,
For
like
Smash.
because freaking there's no spirits that are also Smash Brothers characters unless they're character spirits until Min. You know, like everything is impossible until it's not.
It's true, but it's impossible. So there we go. Is Duncan even real?
You know what?
Arguably,
I'm not sure.
Is AJ okay with his denial of being on the weeb spectrum?
I don't even know what that means.
Maybe you like some things that are weeby, and you disagree in his mind that you are on the weeb spectrum.
I think that
be honest. If you lie, we'll know.
I think that the definition of weeb and the idea that you casually like anything on that spectrum is like a contradiction, right? Because the definition of being a weeb is that you are a major enthusiast of specifically Japanese culture. So like when an anime gets freaking announced, or you like if it's not an anime, or you're like super down for JRPGs,
eating Japanese snacks or something,
and it like very specifically being a cultural thing, you're like enamored by the culture. Like I like JRPGs because it's very Japanese, you know, rather than like I like Pokemon. Obviously, that's a Japanese property. I like Nintendo. Obviously, it's a Japanese company. But the thing that makes me love those things isn't like their Japanese heritage, you know? Like I'm not like, oh man, you know who I really want in Smash? Sora and freaking Cloud and freaking Goku. You know, I'm like, those things are neat, but whatever. Like, I still want to watch freaking My Hero Academia, but I'm like 40 episodes behind at this point. You know, like, I don't know. I think
so. The moral of the story is yes, apparently still in denial. So
it would be a
there it is. Is Parker looking forward to being able to fall his first guy whenever Fall Guys comes to Switch? Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. When will the real direct be with all SpongeBob be?
2040.
2021, y'all. 2025. It's a long time away.
2042.
Will Nintendo, but for real, 2042. Will Nintendo continue to just randomly drop huge directs on us, almost as if they are constantly adapting to an ever-evolving world with their marketing strategies?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. Did you hear Bab's scream of joy when he saw the Mario Direct?
Yes.
There it is. Why doesn't everything come with a dark mode? Are developers trying to blind us?
Yes, but also Twitter's dumb and I hate it. So they have like a freaking like blackout mode, and the way that it works, it's like so I hate it. So you freaking go into your settings and then you have to select that, but it's not smart enough to know that like, okay, this account wants dark like blackout mode on everything that you sign into this account with. You have to specifically go into your settings and change it to blackout mode on all your devices, and it's very stupid. Like, man, and it like that's like a tier above on the level of stupid, because like they don't even need that much information. Like on Mac OS specifically, there's like a like system-wide setting for dark mode. It should be able to tell that my setting is dark mode, so I want dark mode. But it can't even tell. Like it can't even tell. It can't talk to its own damn self. You know what I mean? Let alone with my OS. Like it's very stupid, and I hate it. Get your life together, Twitter, and give me a freaking edit button, you know?
Duncan said the answer will shock you about the aforementioned question. Moving along, Bigfoot Boudreaux said Gods and Monsters was renamed to Immortal Fenyx Rising, which is kind of a dumb name. But the more I think,
see how they spelled it, I'm even more mad.
It's dumb. Yeah. But the more I think about it, most video game names are dumb in a lot of cases. We've just gotten used to it. What are some games with names that aren't dumb, or do you disagree entirely and think most are good? For what it's worth, I think Gods and Monsters was a good name. Also, Fall Guys, Rocket League, and Halo are a few that come to mind as good ones. Short and vague names seem to be safer. This is a great question, by the way.
A good name. I think a lot of the time, like, so
Legend of Zelda, that's like pretty right across the plate. You know, it's not even really a good name. It's just not a bad one.
I was about to say, I don't even know if I would call that a good name, and I would more readily accept an argument that it's bad. Because it confuses more people on a general sense. Like either you just accept it as like, well, that's the thing that it's called, And the same way that people are like, Super Mario, sure, you know, but it does, like, it actively confuses people rather than informs them, which is the reason for naming a thing.
Ooh,
you know,
I thought of one, Quantum League. It was a first.
That?
I think it's in beta right now or early access or something, but it's coming to Switch at some point, I think. But it's first person or it's a third person shooter or something, but like there's a time element to it, so hence the quantum and like quantum leap. It's like a pun, but it's fun. But like you are playing against one other person, but then when you die you respawn, and what you did the first time still happens, and then you die again and what you did the first and second time still happens.
Oh, is it like that freaking game that was in the...
It's like that one, it's just different.
Okay.
But yeah, same idea. It's like a little arena shooter thing, but apparently it's like pretty decent. Which that was one that when I saw it, I was like, this could be a game that either is a really cool idea and works out well, or is a neat idea but is executed really poorly. But apparently it seems like executed decently.
What is that game called? Oh my God, Morphe's Law. That game.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Oof,
that's a good name.
It was a good name. Bad game, but good name.
The game's not good. It's easier to think of like console names that are bad because again, like it's very clear that like the purpose of the name. Because a lot of games are just called what they're called because that's what they're called.
Yeah, I mean the same with like band names or whatever, where it's like, pretty soon Owl City is just
Fanatix Four.
Exactly.
It just became a name that's just a name. Like that's just what it's called. It doesn't really mean anything. You know,
and it's fairly inaccurate if we're being honest.
Yes, entirely. But like console names, like Wii U, that's a terrible name.
Yeah,
because it seems like it's informing you of what it is. But it's not, you know. Yeah. Conversely, Nintendo Switch is an excellent name. You know, like it's easier to like classify consoles, I feel, than it is for games.
Great question. I'm sure there's more. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but like, I love it. It's fun. Mega Man asks a bunch of questions. First being spaghetti bolognese or carbonara. # Fanatics Foods. I would say if it's between actual bolognese and carbonara. If it's if you're in America and you just are buying cheap
like off the
sauce
shelf, like...
at the store and it's just red sauce versus white sauce, red sauce. So like, which I mean, more like a, you know, just
like you're freaking getting ragu or whatever.
Yeah, right, exactly, that kind of a thing. Which that said, I actually the just Kroger brand, which is Turkey Hill up where you're at, but just the generic brand 6 cheese sauce at the store is like kind of one of my favorite ones.
Much cheese. That's too much cheese.
It's just a bunch of different cheeses. It's not like super cheesy. It's just
that's like at least 2 cheeses too much cheese.
What if there was like so much of 4 cheese though versus a good amount of 6 cheeses?
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
All right,
you know?
That's acceptable.
But in any case, yeah, between those, carbonara 100%. I had that for lunch today, so look at that. Fun times.
Snap! I had it like a month ago.
Nice. When will the Diddy Kong Racing Direct happen?
Oh my God!
Insider scoop. It happened yesterday.
They shadow dropped it.
Yeah,
just to Parker.
Just to me.
He was under NDA until this moment.
Yep. You're welcome for telling you about this special things. Mega Man says Duncan isn't real? ?
Not anymore. He crossed me, dude. He crossed me.
And then last question from him. Do you hope for other playable characters in Mario 64?
Yes.
I'd love it. I doubt it, but I'd love it.
I want freaking Jimmy the Hedgehog. Google Jimmy the Hedgehog. I'm sure he's a thing. Jimmy. Every name that's like Rick the Hedgehog, there's fan art.
There's fan art. He's red. He's playing what looks to be an Ibanez acoustic guitar. So that's fun. Oh no, that's an electric guitar. Never mind. The closer I look at the picture.
Wow, fake fan.
Yeah.
Fake fan of guitars.
Horrible fan of guitars. Yeah, I would love some more playable characters. That would be dope.
I thought you were going to say, yeah, I would love Jimmy the Hedgehog.
I love guitars. So there's all that. Dirt Marcos asks, is this all that Nintendo has planned to have for this Christmas? If so, is it enough to even come close to beating the competition?
I mean,
one
he's
of
not
us,
wrong. It's
yeah.
not wrong. Like,
For what it's
is,
worth, I'm
is it
pretty
enough to
sure
beat all those teraflops?
one of us is
Yes.
probably going to make a video about this week, I would assume, because I think it's a
Who's one of
necessary
us,
thing.
dude?
I don't know. One of the two of us.
Wow.
We'll figure it out when the time is right.
Or rock, paper, scissors.
But yeah, as far as it, I think yeah, they would still beat them where they're at right now, just because it's the cheaper console. There's more product and stuff, so like
there's like
supply versus demand,
library,
and bigger amount of time. To be honest,
because like they don't. So if we're talking about people that don't own a Switch, they don't necessarily need another new holiday game to need to to justify their Switch. There's Breath of the Wild, there's freaking Pokemon Sword and Shield, there's Smash Brothers Ultimate,
there's Kirby
there's
Star
Mario
Allies.
Kart 8 Deluxe. No, that's negative points. There's 3 years of games that are like, and also this, and then again Mario All Stars 3D Collection Ultra Turbo 3XX Fire Flames Edition ×3 is also releasing. So that's like the thing that's like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to buy this, and then I'll also buy those other 5 games or whatever. Versus like Spider-Man Miles Morales being the thing that's like, I want to buy PlayStation 5 in that game,
and you can buy some old games that'll look a little bit better, or I mean maybe a lot better, I don't know.
Or not even that, because like I don't think most people like that is going to appeal to the people that already again, it's kind of the same thing of like, if you already own a PlayStation 4 and you're like, yeah, I want to play my PlayStation 4 games and have them look good, and also trade in my PlayStation 4 for that, that sort of thing, that could help them. But I think for like the idea of the general consumer, like they're freaking not even thinking about the old games that are on the console that they already have. They're thinking like, what new games that are new to me that I can play now because I have this.
Exactly. I think there might be, or probably will be, individual like days or events like some day of Black Friday or something like that, where the PlayStation 5 is the best selling item or something like that. Unless the Switch has lots of stock, and B,
a $50 price cut.
Yes, exactly. Like some kind of like bundle or whatever, like something really special that's like, oh, now is finally the time to get a Switch. This is what I've been waiting for. Now it feels justified to, because like buying things on sale on Black Friday is like, people are going to buy things on sale on Black Friday just because it's Black Friday. And they're like, I planned for a sale. I'm going to get some good sales stuff, Right.
I'm going to get sales stuff.
So
what are you going to get on Black Friday? I don't know, sales stuff,
whatever. So I think they will, this holiday season especially, like they've got a lot of cards in their favor. But whether or not they have games for you or for me specifically is a different question. I suspect that they will,
already
but
have our money.
Yeah,
so
exactly. No, they don't really care. Cowboy asks, how are your islands doing now that Animal Crossing New Horizons has been out 5 months? Are the villagers eating each other after running out of food? Why did you abandon them?
I don't know, and that's why I'm terrified to go back.
I haven't been back in a while.
I can't go back. I can't.
We should. I mean, we'll be getting a
face Vivian.
We will be getting a fall update at some point pretty soon too. So as far as like what things to look forward to for this holiday season, that's something.
True.
So I don't know when that'll be.
One of these days, we got to go back to our village and then reconvene on this podcast and be like,
it's true.
All right, so like, freaking, I don't know, Drift came back somehow, burned my house down.
And then last question, Sorry T asked, what Mario furniture are you hoping for this Mario 35 Animal Crossing New Horizons event, and which wing will be devoted to Peach?
None. Peach is garbage. I don't like her. I understand that it's already main turn Smash Brothers, and that's fine and all. But you gotta pick Daisy instead, because Peach is a garbage human.
I'm hoping it's just all Waluigi and really good looking.
That's a contradiction.
No, I have zero clue what. I'm sure it'll just bring back some old stuff and a couple of new things, right? But
is there old stuff?
Yeah, I mean, not of like 35th anniversary things, but like old Mario furniture and whatever.
Like the freaking like, I don't even know if that's in there anymore, but like the Mario fire rod thing
Sure.
Yeah,
I
like
guess.
the it's like a thing in Mario games where you
Oh,
put
yeah,
the
yeah,
thing
yeah,
in
yeah.
Mario, like
Mm-hmm.
freaking, you know,
Uh-huh.
that.
That kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at a picture here. It's got just like, this is this for New Leaf, I guess? I don't know. But it's got like a fire flower and wallpaper and a superstar and blocks and coins and stuff. So like some of that kind of stuff, but probably also some actual furniture that's got like Mario on it or, you know, something.
Yes.
Not Mario himself, but maybe Mario himself will come visit for a day.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Baby. It's freaking what is his name? The bunny, Zipper.
Oh
the
my
Zipper
goodness.
bunny.
We love Zipper.
What
He's our
if
best
it's
friend.
What if it's him in a Mario suit?
Which is especially, it's whoever's in Zipper in a Mario suit.
Exactly.
And there's just like obvious ear,
yeah,
like ears kind of being held back inside the hat that are like trying to come out.
or they're like freaking cut out. They're like cut the top of the hat out, like so that the ears can come through the top of the head.
We haven't, for what it's worth, I don't think we've had an update where we've seen the next
a new person
of those characters. I think the next one is probably Halloween time. Pretty sure, because they showed some pictures of like.
Wait,
there's a reindeer.
So they had to update. Well, they didn't have not anybody like that, where it was like a challenge thing and like collect all things. And
right.
Well, they had the wedding thing.
Yeah, those were like regular characters. I'm thinking like, because those were like returning characters. It was the two llamas or whatever.
Yeah.
But I am wondering.
But Zipper's returning too.
Oh, okay. But did he always have a zipper and all that stuff? Oh, okay. So is the reindeer? Does he also? He doesn't have a zipper, I guess.
No, I don't think.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if it was going to be obviously the same person dressing up as Zipper, the reindeer, and all that stuff, but it's not. So.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And now we know that is how Directly to You happens. Everybody, thank you for being a friend. Down the road and back again. That's all I know of that song.
Mm-hmm. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what your deepest, darkest fantasy is, you know?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
If you want.
No.
Probably
it's compulsory.
Okay. That's it from us. Do all the good things. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.